Hi friends! Welcome back to my channel. I'm Xoxo, this is Xoxo Tarot, and in today's reading, we are going to be doing a classic. It is one of my favorites, and based on my analytics, it is one of yours too. We are going to be looking at how the person on your mind or the person you are asking about is currently feeling about you. So we are going to start by looking at who this person is. I asked this time, who is the person you're asking about? So I'm hoping that you won't get your own energy, but if you do, I would just try a different group. And we're also gonna look at what the current nature of your connection / relationship with them is. So even if you're unsure about the who is this person part, hopefully what the energy of the connection is like will help supplement that. And if you resonate, then you found the right reading. If it doesn't resonate, I would try a different group. But based on that, we are then going to get into the tarot and see how is this person actually feeling about you. I'm just going to shuffle a handful of cards and read. I'm not going to ask specific questions for each. And then we are going to pull a couple of channeled messages. If you enjoy that, there's going to be a lot more in the extended, but I wanted you guys to have some too that are just sticking around for the free reading. So we're just going to see something they want you to know at this time, and then we're going to finish off with some guidance for you. Now, I'm really excited for the extended, and if you've never checked one out, you should. Not only do I work really hard on them, but if you like my chaos and vulgarity, you will enjoy the extended. I am much more unhinged, but we also look at a lot more and get super in depth. So for this one, we are looking at your next significant meeting or the next significant shift that is occurring. So this can actually resonate for both. It can be both a meeting and a shift, but the reason why I'm using both of these terms is because for some of you, you live with this person. So your next meeting might be in a few minutes. So a shift in energy would likely be more important for that. And on the flip side, for some of you, you may not know when you're going to see this person next or when the likelihood of another meeting will be. So a shift in energy is going to be more significant there. But for those of you that are planning on seeing this person, whether online or in person, I think the next meeting is just a fun, exciting thing to look at. And you can resonate for both. If you don't know when you will see them again, maybe this will give you a better idea. So what we're going to start by doing is looking at the overall energies of this next meeting with your person or the next shift that you in energy you will experience with them. And then we're going to use the tarot deck that you guys choose. And burping, excuse me, that chicken noodle soup is coming up. We are going to look at what will cause this shift or meeting. You know, will it be something you do? Will it be something organic from the universe? We'll look. We're going to see how these energies will manifest in a meeting, if that resonates for you. And then we will look at how you will both experience this shift in energy. So how will this change the connection between the two of you? How will it impact you both? Then we are going to see what is the deeper purpose / benefit of this future meeting / shift. So what I'm going to be looking at here is like, what are the potentials of growth? What are the potentials for connecting more deeply? What are the potentials for how this might change your understanding of yourself, your understanding of the connection? I had a hard time knowing how to word that, but I feel like what I really just want to look at there is what cool changes might happen? How might this help you grow? How might this help you both connect more deeply? Then we are going to do more channel messages because I love channel messages, and we're going to look at confessions from your person's heart space. So what does this person's heart space want to reveal to you? And then we are going to finish off with guidance for this upcoming meeting, guidance to prepare you. So we're going to be looking at things like, what should you surrender? What energy should you be creating? What might you want to be prepared for? What do you need to know? Stuff like that. I'm going to kind of keep it based on what the reading is to make sure that you get the best and most useful information possible. So if you've never checked one out, or if you've checked one out before, would be super grateful if you joined me over there. As you guys know, I don't really take sponsorships because I would much rather spend my time and energy giving to you instead of shilling for random companies. So yeah, if you want to support me, that's an excellent way. I understand not everyone has the means though, so other ways to support me, just liking the video, letting the ads play in the background, commenting, subscribing, those are all super helpful, and I'm just grateful you're here. But I just like plugging my extendeds because I think that they're honestly really good, and everybody who comes over seems to enjoy them. So thank you to everybody who does. But let's go ahead and get into your groups. You're like, Asa, shut up about the extended. I'm like, I can't. Every sentence I say is extended. As you know, we like to yap over here. But we have 4 different groups for you to choose from today. Starting with group number 1, we are going to be using the Mystical Medleys Tarot. It has kind of a Mickey Mouse vibe to it. And I have this fire quartz stone on top. It's one of my favorite stones, by the way. And then for group number 2, we are going to be using the Mermaid Tarot by Dame Darcy, and I have this Aquamarine stone on top. And then for group number 3, we are going to be using the Black Line Tarot, and I have this Moonstone on top. And then finally, for group number 4, we are going to be using the Oriens Animal Tarot, and I have this purple Chalcedony, I believe it is, stone on top. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pile you feel most drawn to. It is absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one. You may be asking about multiple people, or it could be that you need to rule out some. You know, that's why we do the energy checks, to make sure you're getting the reading that's actually for you. And like I said, if you get yourself, number 1, make sure that the energies might also apply to your person. So make sure you're checking for that. And then also, you know, it may be you just need to pick a different group. This is not about picking the right group on the first try. All that matters is that it resonates and it brings you more peace and clarity. Information is useless to you unless it serves a greater purpose. So with that being said, we are going to go ahead now and make a wish. And I have my OG here, the Unicorn Love Candle. So I don't know if there are any of this candle left, but the Lover's Candle is her replacement. So if you are interested in this candle, you may want to check out the Lover's Candle. The Lover's Candle also features a little rainbow charm in it, but it's the same scent. It's orchid and, oh, she's deep in there. It's orchid and lilac, I believe. But just pro tip, you may want to take these out before you light it. But now is the time where if you would like to make a wish, just go ahead and set the intention that your wish be infused with this candle. And I'm going to take a second to make mine. And may yours, mine, and all of our wishes come true. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for the opportunity to give you this reading. I really, really hope that you enjoy it as much as I enjoy making it. And yeah, that's really all I have. So go ahead and scroll down to the comment section or the description box, where I will have all the timestamps listed down below, as well as the links to the extended, and I will see you in your reading. Hi there, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Fire Quartz and Mystical Medleys Tarot, this is going to be a reading on how the person you're asking about is currently feeling about you. So we are going to go ahead and just start getting into it. I am going to look at who you're asking about and what the current energy of the connection is with them, and this side is mutual. So if you resonate with these energies, this is your reading. If you don't, I would try a different group. There is no punishment for getting the wrong group once. I know the piles are really pretty. It can be hard to choose. Anyway, if you get yourself as well, try a different group and make sure that you've got the right one. But also make sure that maybe the attributes I'm talking about you both have. So just because it sounds like you, it could also be them. I'll quit yapping. In terms of the person that is showing up for you, we have Venus. We have the Chariot. We have Wolf. And we have Mars in Capricorn with Authority. And then the current energy of the connection relationship between the two of you, We have acceptance. You are ready to release control of situations or people and lovingly embrace the rhythm of life. We have the solar plexus chakra with radiance. We have time apart. And we have hunger. Alexa, play Hungry by the Wolf. Hungry Like the Wolf by Duran Duran. I wondered if any of your Alexas would turn on if I said that. I don't have one because I don't like being spied on by the government. They just do that through my phone. Anyway, let's talk about this person. So this is definitely someone who you get to see the softer side of that not everyone sees. They have a ferocity to them when it comes to their ambitions, but they are somebody who, when they care about someone, they give their all. And I can definitely see that, you know, you've seen this person's softer side. They're likely more gentle with you and more gracious and understanding with you, but they definitely have a lot of priorities, a lot of responsibilities, and they're not the best at balancing their ambition with the things that bring them joy. One thing that I'm seeing here with the Chariot is that your person is definitely someone who's constantly on the go. And even if they're staying at home, it's like they're always doing something, or they're always trying to go a little bit further, do a little bit more. And I think that's partially because they really want to provide the best life for the people that are in it. You know, if they have a family, if you guys are together, if you guys have a family together, it is very important that they're able to provide for your family. But depending on what your relationship is with this person, it may be like right person, wrong time. It might be that you and this person see a future together, but this person is really focused on their own work. Or maybe you guys have given this a shot and things didn't work out because there was not enough time to devote to this connection. There's a lot of scenarios here that I'm seeing. So, you know, just because I don't list the one that applies for you, if the energies resonate, it's still for you. Just feel free to add any insights that you get. So if there's something I say that you feel that I don't say, honor that for yourself. That's a message for you. So I can see that this person can be quite stubborn and a little bit domineering. They are, well, according to them, they're always right. And I think sometimes this is someone who has to learn things the hard way because they don't realize that something is wrong until they've realized it for themselves. But I can see that this person does indulge in their soft, nurturing side, especially with you. I feel like they're definitely your type, either physically or personality-wise, maybe even both. And I also got the vibe that maybe this person isn't like conventionally attractive, but like they're perfect for you. And another specific thing I'm getting is like they may have an aspect to them that you find super attractive that other people consider flaws. Like, for example, you know, people consider stretch marks flaws. I don't see them as flaws. I see them as a sign of skin stretching, but I got plenty of them. But like, just as an example, you know, you would see that as really attractive. Like, there might be just unique things about them that other people wouldn't find, that other people would critique or criticize, or that generalized society would say is not okay, that you find very attractive and good, because flaws are hot, and let it be known that your flaws are hot too, and you should embrace them more because they're part of what make you you. But with this wolf energy, I can see that this person definitely carries a lot on their own. If they have trouble with anything, it's letting go of control to allow others to help them. And their career is very important to them. The fact that we have Mars in Capricorn, their ambition is on another level. And I can see that their ambition sometimes gets in the way of their ability to be present for those that they care about. But I can definitely see here there's someone that is trying to build the best life possible for themselves, not only for themselves, but for the people that they share their life with. There's definitely a more emotional side to them that isn't always seen. I think that you can see through it sometimes, but I think honestly, they're even unaware sometimes of how deep their emotions run. Well, I'm excited to look at their feelings then. They just have this element where they use their emotional energy as just extra fuel for the goals they're trying to accomplish. I can definitely see as well that they're the type of person to get really, really locked into to projects or things that they're working on. Like, time can get away from them and they can get especially passionate. I can also see that this is someone who doesn't let people in easily and isn't the impulsive type. And if they are the impulsive type, no, they're not the impulsive type, but they may indulge in other people's impulses if it's on their schedule and if it works for them. Does that make sense? Because I do think they like, if you're a more spontaneous person, I think they like the spontaneity you bring. But I can definitely see that their ambition is the biggest part of themselves, and they have very regimented ideas of what they need to be doing. And even if you don't agree with them, that doesn't really matter, because it's about how they see it. And not that your perspective doesn't matter to them, but that, their way makes so much sense, so why would they consider another way? Does that make sense? I can also see here that this person definitely has some, it's hard to get to know them at first. It takes a while for them to gain trust, but it's like once you've gotten past that wall, it's like you're there forever, no matter what happens. I can also see that they can be a little rigid and unyielding at times, but it's only because it kind of comes back to them, like, they know they're right. And I'm not saying they're always right, but they think they're always right. And whether they are or not, I do think they are correct a lot of the time, but not all the time. Nobody can be correct 100% of the time. But in terms of signs, if that's helpful, we have a lot of earth energy here. So Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Capricorn is being highlighted, especially in Taurus with Venus. But we also have Cancer energy with the Chariot, and we have Libra energy as well with Venus. Taurus energy highlighted in Venus, but I already said that. They are definitely someone who, if they aren't successful already, they will be. And I think that's part of the reason why they are so driven. This is someone who is willing to sacrifice now so that they can have more later. And so, for example, if they know that like this project is going to yield a lot of income that can allow them to take time off for a month, like they're going to do that rather than choose like a line of work that's going to like keep them trapped in the same thing and not give them room to progress. This is definitely someone who's highly independent, highly motivated, but they do enjoy the finer things in life, and they want to enjoy those things, especially I think with you. But I can also see one of their challenges is allowing themselves to receive the sweetness of this connection and receive things being easy. This is someone that I think has an either conscious or subconscious belief that if it's not attained through challenge, if anything isn't attained through challenge, it's not worth having. And I don't mean that in terms of like you're in their relationship. I mean, maybe that could apply, but if I wouldn't recommend you play hard to get to, like, well, first of all, I wouldn't recommend that in general because it's playing games, but I like this person just kind of has this idea and this belief that things need to be challenging. So it's like I almost feel like they bring more challenging and frustrating circumstances to themselves without even realizing. Like they might attract the wrong types of people to work with, or they might attract they just might attract like bad luck, like the type of like getting every single red light because they have that subconscious belief. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, I can hit every red light and still get there on time. Like they have this, they eat challenge for breakfast. I definitely think this person could go to the salty spittoon and hold their own. But with that being said, is there anything else? I think one of the biggest things is like when you're with them, or if you haven't been with them in person, like if you're getting to know them, you might be feeling like, is this person, if you're just getting to know them, you might be like, is this person even interested in me? Because like they're talking to me, but they're very like cordial, or they seem to be a little bit distant. And I would say yes, because if they're talking to you at all, they view you as worthy of their time and energy. Like there's nothing more precious to this person than their time and energy. So if they weren't interested in you, they wouldn't respond to you at all. And same thing here, like this is someone who definitely says what they mean most of the time. But if they know that something they say is going to create an argument or create some kind of frustration, they may wait to say that thing until they actually have the time to deal with it. But that's not to say, I don't think that this is a highly argumentative person, but I think that if they are willing to face conflict, they're not conflict avoidant, but they don't see the utility in conflict outside of it improving problems. This is definitely someone, I'm thinking of that meme where the woman, there's like a man and a woman in bed, and like they're turned away from each other, and the woman's like, I bet he's thinking about other girls, and then the meme is like the man's thinking about something random, like, you know, I wonder how many boats there are in the world, or just something like that. Like that's the point of the meme. Like I definitely see your person as the guy thinking about whatever. Not that your person is a guy, they don't have to be. This is about energy. But I do think that they can get really wrapped up and preoccupied by even the silliest of things, because they like to win, they like to succeed, and they like to be right, which who doesn't? But the fact that they're quite good at doing those things, there's extra fervor behind it. So let's talk about where your connection is at with them. I can definitely see that there is something dividing the both of you right now. And it's something outside of either your control or outside of both of your control. So for example, it may be that this person, you could be separated for work. You could be, maybe like one of you is on vacation and that's this time apart. It could be a brief time apart where you're not able to see each other. You know, deployment is another thing that I heard. But this time apart could also be just a conscious choice. Like maybe you both need to grow, or maybe, you know, you're not in a conscious commitment with one another because, well, hopefully if you are in a commitment, it's conscious. But you may not be in any sort of commitment because you are too far away from each other, or you haven't had, you know, the time to really connect more deeply. Maybe both of you don't have the time and energy to dedicate, or this person doesn't. But what I can see here is that there's a lot of passion, a lot of fire between the two of you, and both of you are missing one another. And I feel like missing is not a good enough word. Like I said earlier, Alexa, play Hungry Like the Wolf by Duran Duran. Did I do it twice? I hope so. There's like this deeper hunger and yearning for one another. And it's like, I feel like your person's desire to bring more stability to this situation is pushing them further in terms of bringing stability to their own situation. I feel like both of you really, it's very easy to push each other's buttons. So if you don't know each other very well yet, you may find that like little things that this person does bother you in a way that if someone else did it, it wouldn't. You both seem to have a lot of passion for one another, and I can tell that your person might be a little bit afraid of getting burned, but so are you. You might kind of tiptoe around one another, or if you're not afraid of conflict either, and if you've been in conflict with this person, it seems like you're at a place where you guys have been in some conflict and kind of taking time apart to cool down and just like reach a point of understanding before you reconnect so that things don't blow out of proportion. But you don't have to be in conflict with this person for it to resonate. The core themes here are that you're not together right now for whatever reason, physically in a commitment, whether you're in a commitment or not. But there's definitely a lot of yearning for one another, and it seems like there is some external factor that is keeping you apart, whether that is feelings that need to be healed and soothed, feelings between the two of you, intense feelings, and those will be like angry emotions. Something in terms of this person's work obligations or obligations in their life or to their family. It could be as simple as just, you know, one of you being on a trip. It could be that you're long distance, or that you have to be long distance for a bit of time. whatever it may be, you guys are not connecting as much as the both of you would like to, but I can see that there's already a lot of care and like sweet feelings for one another with all this green. Like, I don't want to say there's love, because that's up to you. Like, you may, and I guess love doesn't have to be logical, so you could already have a lot of love for this person and it not make any sense, or you could just love this person so much and you've been together for a great deal of time, and this is just part of, you know, the circumstances of your relationship right now, whether it's like obligations, or there are times where you guys just have to cool off or take time to process things before you come back together. But I can definitely see there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of fire between the two of you, and whew, yeah, you guys are burning. I'm hearing the Jonas Brothers burning up. Like, you're burning up for each other, and I can see that both of you are really missing one another. And if your person is the reason why you guys are not connecting right now, it's taking a lot of strength for them to maintain that. And I would say if that is the case, it is because they are doing something related to career / ambition, or something related to stability. And they are using these feelings of desire, these feelings of passion for you to further drive them. And they're and like, part of the challenge is not succumbing to their desire to just say, you know, screw everything and, you know, shirk off their responsibilities. Because one thing I do see here is that when you guys are together, it's like, it's both confronting and powerful. Like, there's feelings of excitement. I would not be surprised if there's a lot of physical tension, probably a good physical connection if you've been with them in that way and you're not asexual. And I can definitely see here as well that, like, there are just aspects beyond you that are either, like I said, outside of both of your controls, or that are within your person's control, like their willingness of, like, their availability to spend more time, or their ability to show up more, you know, that. And there may be aspects of both of your nature that frustrate one another that you both are learning to accept. But if I said that and that freaked you out, that's not your message. You'll know if I said that and you were like, yeah, that's your message. But no matter what, I do think there's an element of acceptance of whatever the circumstances are, and recognizing that there are things beyond your control. And I feel like there is an energy of trying to make the most of whatever is happening here. For some of you, your person may be avoiding connecting with you or contacting you too much, just because they do need to be focused, and you are quite the distraction. Like, imagine if you could put the sun in the room with you. Well, the sun's huge, so it wouldn't fit, but, like, also you would just, like, it would be really hot and distracting. And I think you're hot and distracting, pile one, just like this fire quartz. And so I definitely can see there's a lot of yearning for each other. So let's go ahead and get into your tarot then, shall we? Let's put this over here. Actually, let's put it over here. I never put the crystals on this side. But if this is resonating and you're enjoying it, and you would like to know what will happen next, when your next meeting will be, or when the next big shift will be between the two of you, definitely check out the extended after this. If you enjoy my vulgarity and chaos, there's definitely more of that in the extended, but we're going to be looking at a bunch of different things, like how this connection is shifting, confessions from your person's heart, how this next meeting will materialize, what opportunities for growth, like what the purpose of this next meeting is. I'm going to be looking at a lot, but if not, that's totally okay. Just grateful you're here. I will say, though, that if you would like to show appreciation in any way, just liking the video, commenting, letting the ads play, those are all super helpful ways to show appreciation, and I thank you for doing that. But you know what? You already have good taste, so thanks for having that. Okay, so now we're going to look at their feelings, how they're currently feeling about you, and I'm just going to shuffle until I feel like stopping, and we'll see what comes through. Okay. Spirit, how is pile one's person currently feeling about them, please? How is pile one's person? We have justice. I saw that when I was cutting the deck, so that's interesting. How, oof, okay. So we have the Two of Pentacles and the Hierophant, so more Taurus energy. How is pile one's person currently feeling about them? Yeah, that makes sense. We have the Ten of Wands. And one more, please. How are they feeling? Oh, yeah, the Queen of Cups. Okay. Bottom of the deck is the Knight of Wands. So I do want to say that if the circumstances separating the both of you right now are outside of both of your control, just know that if they had the chance, they would be here yesterday. They would have more going on. I can definitely see the fact that we have both Justice and the Hierophant here. That is really significant to me because not only is this person very traditional, but they are very serious about you. And if they haven't, and if you haven't got, if this connection is newer and you haven't gotten to know each other that well yet or that deeply yet, I definitely think that your person is seeing you as someone that potentially they could be in a very serious commitment with, like even a marriage. And if you're already together, I think this person does see marriage with you, or you could already be married. And if that's the case, they are heavily devoted to this connection. But what I can see here is that they are definitely torn into two by one, either a lack of resources or just a lack of time to invest as much as they would like in you. I can see that there's a lot that is weighing on them. And I think that a lot of their feelings have to do, they don't really indulge their feelings, first of all. They are a very pragmatic person. But the feelings they do have for you run really deep. And I think that this is the type of person to show their feelings either through gifts or through acts of service, through providing. I think that's very important to them. And I feel like they are wanting to have more balance in how much time they're able to spend with you, how much time they're able to spend just in general doing leisurely activities. I do feel one thing is that you've been very gracious in this process and they've been very grateful for that. It's very important to them that they're both fair to you and fair to themselves. So if you are with a person, or if you are asking about a person that gives you the runaround, that lies to you, I don't think this is your group and I don't think this is your pile. This is someone who may not be able to make a promise, but they're not going to tell you a lie. They may actually not even really give you an answer because they may not have an answer. They want to be the version of themselves that they see worthy of being in a commitment with you, or the type of person you deserve. So if you're already in a commitment with them, I feel like they are highly motivated right now to work as hard as they can to be able to provide more for the both of you, to be able to give you more and express what you mean to them through evidence of their hard work. I definitely feel like they are pulled into two. They're torn in half in terms of, part of them is feeling like they've got too much on their plate. They do need to scale back. They want to spend more time with you. This Queen of Cups could represent you, and if that's the case, like if the Queen of Cups is representing how they see you, how they feel about you, then they just see you as just so precious, so special. It kind of freaks them out, like your ability to tune into their emotions, but I think that's because, one, you probably are good at that, but also I don't think they really tune into theirs, so it's like extra creepy to them. But I also can see like there is no one else, like, and that's another thing, you know. Okay, if there would be someone else, it's because they were in a prior commitment in the past and they no longer have any romantic feelings for this person. They are only with this person in legality or in name. So it could be possible, like for example, this person could be going through some kind of, you know, divorce situation where they don't have the time or the finances like that. You know, if it's a big strain on their finances, they could really be needing to get themselves together, get in a better position. I can definitely see here there's a lot that they're carrying, and I think part of that is the responsibility they place on themselves, but I can also see that fantasies of you are something that they use to motivate them to work harder. I'm hearing the Kanye West song Stronger, like, what don't kill me makes me stronger. And I can also see that they're spread really thin right now. I feel like whatever you are receiving from them, communication, time spent, any energy invested, they are, and if you're not communicating right now, if you're not talking to one another, if you are spending time apart, like, they literally don't have anything to give. I don't think this person is deliberately ignoring you at all. It may be that you guys need time to cool down if the argument situation resonates, but in that case, if the argument situation resonates, I think that whatever role they played in it, that's weighing on them very heavily, and there could have been things that they said that they didn't mean, or they could have realized, like, oh, wow, I was wrong about this. Especially with this Justice card, they may realize, like, I may need to balance things out here. I may need to do right by pile one. I don't know if I was necessarily fair here, but this is someone who doesn't really allow their feelings to get the best of them. The feelings they do have for you are very sweet, and there's kind of this, like, blissful energy that I feel they have when they're around you. It's like, it feels sinful to spend time with you because it feels so nice and so good. And I feel like this is, like I said, like, this person is kind of allergic to receiving the nice things in life unless it is hard won, unless they struggle to get it, because it's like they need to feel like they earned it. And they have very traditional ideas of how that needs to happen. And I do feel like right now, most of their time is being spent trying to balance things in their personal life and to stay fair and aligned with their values. The fact that we have the Knight of Wands on the back of the deck, look at that, and the Lovers underneath it. Travel could be something that they're saving up for if this is long distance, or, like, they may be saving up for, like, a trip that you both can go on. This could also just be, though, them taking more action and spending more time with you. I do feel like this person may admit, if they haven't told you about this, that they could have been really reckless and irresponsible in the past. They could have channeled a lot of their energy into frivolous things, or things that actually got them into debt or got them much further off their path than they anticipated. But they are someone who does not shy away from, like I said, challenges. And I do think that if you're not hearing from them right now, if you're unwilling to reach out, like, I definitely think they will at some point when they are able to. But I do think sometimes this person, like, can be a little bit stubborn, a little bit immature, and they can get a little hot-headed if they are really being challenged, like, if their perspective is really being challenged. So if something like that happened between the two of you, I can see that they may be needing to say probably the two most challenging words for them to say in the English language, or if you speak a different language to one another, I'm sorry, translated into whatever language you do speak. But I can see here that no matter how deep or powerful their feelings are for you, it's not going to override what they feel their duties and responsibilities are. Duties. And no matter what, the duties, the duties. I am a 26-year-old woman laughing about duties. Whatever responsibilities they do have, I can see that they consider you a responsibility as well. At the very least, like, if you're not in a structured commitment with them in any way, I do think that they see if they're going to be, they are responsible for being a good partner, being the type of partner they see themselves as being. And I do feel like right now they are really focused on building more stability so that they can spend more time and energy connecting with you, connecting with the people that they love. I do think that they're reaching a point where they're like, I can't keep doing this forever. Like, I can't keep running myself ragged. And so I do think that there's awareness that they need to be more balanced. But if you're not in a commitment with them, that's one of the greatest things that they're feeling, is that not only do they want a commitment with you, but they're actively putting in the work to get there. But they may not be telling you that because they feel like maybe they don't know when they will be in that position, and they don't want to give you false promises or lead you on in a way that is unfair to you. I genuinely feel like they have deep respect for your own sovereignty. So if you're not already in a commitment with them, I feel like if you are in a commitment with them, then they've probably explained to you, like, we need to do this. This will be really great for us. This could be great for our family if you guys have one. This could just really set us up for like a powerful future. But if you're not in one, I can see that they're working to do that. And it's like, just right now, the commitment aspect of it, it's like it wouldn't be fair to you because they don't have the time and energy to spend, or even really the money. I feel like a lot of their money is either tied up in like investments, or like I said, you know, if they are going through a divorce or something like that, that could be really impacting their ability, and they may want to take things really slow. I can definitely see, no matter what, it is very important that they stay aligned with their integrity. There may be a greater belief system that could be religious in nature, spiritual in nature, or just like cultural, that they are wanting to adhere to. I definitely think that the values that they grew up on are the ones that they want to uphold. Like, they want to make their family proud, but they also just want to be the type of person you deserve. And I think there's awareness that for a while there, like, they weren't. And maybe that was before you met them, or maybe, you know, they realized, like, if they're going to be in a commitment with you, they have to be serious. They have to be, you know, they can't play around. They can't be foolish. And so a lot of their time and energy has gone to that. But I mean, we have two pretty powerful commitment cards here. And I think now it's a matter of just getting things in order so that they can spend more time and energy with you. I mean, the feelings that they do have are very sweet. They feel very motivated to just improve themselves so that they can show up more and be there for you more. One thing I will say is that if your frustration around this situation is taking up more than like 50% of your consciousness, and it's becoming that distracting, I think it's really important you take a step back and remember, like, number one, you're not powerless in this situation. You might feel like that, but you always have the power to do things differently or to make the most of your circumstances. There might be people in your life that want to spend time with you that maybe you haven't seen, that it could be really nice or just good for you to kind of get your mind off of things. But also, I think if you're worried that this person is just spending time and energy screwing around with others, if this is not this person and this is not this group, this person is only focused on, number one, achieving their goals, and number two, being able to spend more time and energy with you, share more space with you, and share the fruits of their labor with you and make all their hard work worth it. There's a lot of deep care for you, and I do feel like this person, they're probably not very good at telling you how they feel, but they are very good at showing it. And it reminds me of, I did talk about the salty spittoon earlier, but another SpongeBob episode where Mr. Krabs falls in love with Mrs. Puff, and he like literally can't talk when he's around Mrs. Puff because he's just like, oh my God, like he's so in love with her. And, you know, Mr. Krabs is a cheapskate, but the only way he can express his feelings for Mrs. Puff is by showering her with tons of stuff. And poor SpongeBob gets caught in the middle, and he's like, SpongeBob, you're spending all my money. Stop doing that. And then he sees Mrs. Puff and he's like, SpongeBob, go get this. And yeah. So I feel like in that scenario you are, and you might be like, I don't need all this. I just want to spend time with you. But I feel like this is how your person shows love, and your person kind of needs this. It's like, it's as much for themselves as it is for you. Like it's a point of pride for them. And if that is something that bothers you, like, that is something you need to consider, because I don't think that aspect of them is going to change. That's either something you have to accept, that this person is going to spend the time and energy necessary to achieve their goals, and you know, they will make concessions when they are able to, but it seems like right now they're not open to much compromise or change, because what they are tied up in is taking up so much of their time and energy. But that is not a reflection of their lack of feeling for you or their disinterest of you. If anything, it's like the feelings that they have for you, their desire for you, is what's pushing them forward. Like, if I'm thinking of the example of like running on a treadmill and putting like a candy bar at the end of it to make you run faster. It's like, if you, like, you're the thing being hung on as the person is running, and it's like, you know, moving towards the stability that they want to be able to devote more time and energy to you. So with that being said, in terms of what they would say, even though they are not a person of many words, let's see what words they would say, or that they would confess if they could. And if you want to see more channel messages, there will be one in the will be more on the extendo, but I wanted to give you guys that are just sitting around for the free reading some as well. So pile one's person, please. What do they want pile one to know at this time? What is the truth that they would like pile one? Yeah, I told you they miss you. And especially if right now, I will say the argument scenario that I gave, if you fit in that group, there may be some differences between like what committing to a relationship requires versus like what they were taught culturally. And they may be realizing like hypocrisy in that, and they may be wanting to talk about that, but they don't want to tell you you're right. Like, one thing I will say is that both of you have some strong egos, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I can see here that like you guys might skirt around certain topics because you don't want to create an argument, or might skirt around certain topics because you don't want to talk about like serious things when you do have time to spend with one another. But I can definitely see, no matter what, this person misses you, even if they just talked to you, even if they just saw you the other day, like whatever time you're spending apart, they miss you a lot. And I like this example because the guy in it, you know, he's not sitting in his emotions. He's like looking at them off to the side. And I feel like that really resonates with your person. Like, they don't feel their emotions actively. It's like they kind of detach from their emotions, and the only emotions they allow are the ones that fuel them further to their goals. What else would they say to pile one, please? What else do they want pile one to know? You have me wrapped around your finger. Yeah, and that's actually a really dangerous thing. And I feel like they are afraid of getting burnt. Like, it's quite possible that in the past they gave their heart to someone who took advantage of it, or, you know, like they could have spent all their time and energy working or just like working hard, you know, honoring responsibilities, and this other person could have been taking advantage of them, could have been, you know, making them feel like that wasn't enough, could have been making them feel guilty for focusing on their ambitions. And so maybe they put those ambitions by the wayside and they regret it. So now it's like they're going to put themselves first no matter what. But I do feel like they want you by their side. What else would they say? I see right through the lies you tell yourself. I definitely think that they can sense that you have certain fears around, like, what if they're just saying that? Like, what, like if they say things to you, like sweet things to you, or, you know, if they're telling you like what's going on, like I'm super busy, like I don't have time. I feel like that's the truth, and they might see that like you may not necessarily believe them, and I think that's frustrating for them. But it's also like, one, they don't have evidence that that's the case, and two, they need you to trust them. Like, if there is no trust, what do you guys have? And one more, what would they say to pile one? They could be completely honest. I want you as much as you do, or as much as I want you, as much as, yeah. Aw, and on the back of the deck, you are the yin to my yang. So don't feel like the lack of this person showing up. Like, if they are busy, yes, they are. They are stretched thin. It has nothing to do with the reflection of their feelings for you. It has everything to do, if anything, how hard they are working is part of like the reflection of their feelings for you. And I feel like one thing they want you to realize is like they are not going to put their life on the back burner, and they're also not going to settle for a life that they know that is too small for them, because they want you to be on that journey with them. And if you have ambitions as well, I think that this is a great time to focus on yours. But I feel like they want you to realize, like, I'm not focused on other people. I'm focused on my goals and us and building more of that. Because if you're not already in a commitment with them, I feel like they do see that. And if you are already in a commitment with them, I feel like they see that going further and needing to have the resources necessary to make that possible and to feel like they're in a good position for that working out. And so, you know, if there's any contracts or agreements that they have to hold on to before they can come towards you, maybe the finances part is, you know, getting in order, but, you know, they have like a contract they have to uphold or something until it runs out. Like, the thing that's greater than them, they don't want you to take that as a reflection of how they feel about you. It's about, it's literally like, it either has everything to do with how they want to be so that they can share more with you, or everything to do with obligations and responsibilities that are not a reflection of how they value you, but that they have to honor, unfortunately. But that's also important, because this is the type of person who's going to follow through and, you know, not be fickle, and that you can trust. So love that. But we're going to go ahead and finish this reading off with some guidance for you and just see what Spirit wants you to know. So Spirit, what guidance do you have for pile 1 at this time, please? What guidance do you have for pile 1 when it comes to this connection / your pile 1's life in general, please? We have happy endings, end of a chapter. So, well, I took this as more ways than one. I do think that a reunion could be closer than you think. Dawn is breaking. We'll look at that if you want to join me down there. But I do think no matter what, like, there is a light at the end of this tunnel. Like, it will not be this way forever, and you can trust that, like, the challenges that you're going through now, like, especially when it comes to being apart, you know, are not forever, and things will get better, and you can trust what you feel intuitively, because I feel like, you know, intuitively you can trust this. But, you know, it's really easy to allow what ifs and fears to get in the way, and our own insecurities to create monsters out of nothing. What other guidance would you like to give? But I will say as well, for you, the best thing that you can do for yourself is make sure you're not investing too much of your time and energy ruminating or worrying about what you can't control in this situation. Use this as an opportunity to focus on your ambitions and focus on spending time, you know, with other people, you know, like your friends, family, crafts, hobbies. Like, do things to occupy your time so that you don't like work yourself up unnecessarily over things you can't control. I mean, you can, but, you know, I feel like this person hates that and hates that you would feel that way, and they want you to enjoy and appreciate life as it is now. And I also think that you know, they want you to have your own independent life, which I'm sure you do have, but it can be hard. Like, when you have so much passion for someone, you can get really consumed by that energy. And so I feel like they are really asking you to channel your own frustrations into ways to just make your own life more full in the meantime. And maybe they said that to you, for some of you. What other guidance would you like to give pile 1, please? Okay. We have stillness, lack of movement. Yeah, so there will be an end to this stillness, but that is the frustration of this. You know, there is a lack of forward momentum, but just trust that the time that is taking, like, that won't be forever. That is going to end, and let go, relax and release. Yeah, so Spirit's saying there's nothing wrong with how things are right now. It's just that things may not be moving according to your timeline, and while that is frustrating, it will not be forever, and you can still make the most of the time that you do have a part of this time where you do have to be more independent. But pile 1, we're going to go ahead and see what is happening, what the next major shift between the two of you is. what's going to happen in your next meeting down in the extended. But if you are leaving me here, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background. Like I said, that's one of the simplest and easiest ways to show appreciation and support for my channel. But if you'd like to support me in other ways, liking this video, commenting down below, letting me know how it resonates, subscribing if you haven't already, and clicking the little notification bell. Shout out to my notification squad and my intro squad. If you'd like me to see your comments and respond, I usually see those when I first upload. After that, it is random, but thank you to everyone who leaves such wonderful comments, and thank you guys for keeping the comment section so wonderful and loving. Like, I just have such a wonderful community, and thank you for being a part of that. If you'd like to support me in other ways, you can check out other videos. You can check out my candles. Be sure to use code ASO10 for 10% off. That counts on all candles on Angelic Magic 888 site. You can check out my merch as well as my Instagram, but not a whole lot going on there. I do want to post there more, but inner work is more important than social media. Pile 1, thank you so much for watching and for letting me read for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Mermaid Tarot and the Aquamarine Palm Stone, this is going to be your reading on how is the person you're asking about feeling about you. So we're going to start by looking at the person you're asking about and the current state of your relationship connection with them. If this sounds like you or does not resonate, I would try a different pile. But if it does sound like you, but you feel like it's your group, try to make sure that the qualities I'm describing also describe your person. It's okay if you resonate with those qualities as well. But if you want a full breakdown of the reading, there is one in the intro. But let's go ahead and start by looking at who this person is. So to start, we have Jupiter. We have Scorpion. We have the Wheel of Fortune. And we have Romance with Venus in Taurus. And then for the nature of your relationship or the current state of it, we have Ownership. You acknowledge your misdeeds and accomplishments alike and learn to love them all as lessons. We have the Throat Chakra with Dreams. I know it seems kind of confusing, but in this deck, the Throat Chakra colors are purple instead of blue. We have Respect Boundaries, and we have Storm. Okay, if you're asking about someone new or someone that you don't have much history with, well, if you're asking about someone really new, I don't think this is your group. This is either someone that you are currently with, currently seeing, or someone from your past. You don't have to have dated them in the past, but at the very least, there's history between the two of you. So with that being said, in terms of who this person is, this is definitely someone who's a bit larger than life. And depending on who this is for you, for some, they may be quite boisterous and extroverted. And for others, they may just be the type to only show those that they trust their larger than life personality. They could be the type to be kind of, I'm trying to find the right word. They could be a lot quieter around people they don't trust and a lot more chaotic around those that they do. But this is definitely someone who feels deeply and passionately. I wouldn't be shocked if they are either religious or spiritual in some type of way, or they have an almost religious dedication to an ideal or to a topic that is very important to them. Like the example that I'm getting is, like, for example, they could not have they could maybe not be spiritual, but they are deeply devoted to studying frogs. Like a scientific thing, for example, like they could be deeply devoted to what they study or what they do or what they work towards. I can definitely see this person is quite prosperous and abundant. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are physically quite wealthy or monetarily quite wealthy, but they could be. I just can definitely see here that this is someone who has a lot to give, someone who feels a lot and quite intensely at times. I can see that they always try to look on the positive side, and they're a lot better at hiding their frustrations around people that they know are less fortunate than them, or that they know need more support, if that makes sense. This is someone who is pretty good at intuitively knowing who they can share their real self with and who they need to be a version of themselves around. And that version of themselves will be whatever they think is most effective at connecting to the person that they're with. In terms of signs, let's just do that really quickly. We have a lot of Sagittarius energy. The Wheel of Fortune is ruled by Jupiter, and Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. We have the fire signs as well with the Scorpion card here, and so Sagittarius is one of those, but also Aries and Leo. And we have Venus and Taurus, so Taurus energy could be significant, and Libra is also ruled by Venus, so all of the fire signs, Libra, Taurus, could be significant. Just take that as confirmation. They don't have to have those signs, but if they do, just take that as extra confirmation. This is definitely someone who tries, like I said, to look at the glass half full. And I can tell that they play a very significant role in your life. So for example, you are in a relationship with them, or you're seeing them, or you have had some sort of past energy with them. Another specific thing that I'm getting is that they might have a really distinct or like unique laugh, or they could have just certain features that stand out about them, like piercing eyes, or maybe they're particularly tall. You know, Jupiter is a big planet. So I do feel like this person has big energy, big ambitions, and a deep loyalty to whatever they choose to commit to. I can also see here with Venus and Taurus, they are someone who does like to be in relationships, but they're someone who, you know, it has to be the right person at the right time. And I can tell that when they are in a commitment, they're quite loyal. I think they love like the concept of love, and I think sometimes their ideals of love don't always match up to their reality. I can even see that applies for themselves as well, where they want to be, the idea of themselves as a lover may not always translate in how they show up as a lover, but they nonetheless try their best. And I feel like with the Wheel of Fortune here, there is this aspect of your connection with them that feels like faded. I almost said dated. So maybe for some of you, this is a past person, and there's some like unfinished business between the two of you, or some unresolved energy between the two of you. There is this element of feeling like not only does this person seem to be naturally lucky, but you may feel like, and I would say they as well feel like there is some sort of greater element to your connection where it's like maybe you guys believe in the idea of past lives. So it's like maybe you believe you've had past lives with one another, or there's just something about your relationship / connection with them where it just feels like you're meant to know them. They're meant to be a part of your life, maybe not forever, but for at the very least, because who are we to determine that? But you were meant to meet them. They're meant to be a part of your life in whatever way. And I can see that they are someone who also loves learning. With the Scorpion card being here as well, it definitely seems like this person, when they are in conflict, they may not hold back, or they may be someone who has a hard time letting go of things if they haven't reached a resolution or peace with the situation. And I do feel like no matter what your situation is with this person, looking at the energy of your current connection, it seems like you guys are either going through a kind of chaotic or challenging time, or you're not interacting very much, but you're feeling one another quite deeply. And it seems like they are kind of, if this is a past person, they're kind of stewing over what happened in the past. Or if you're with them or seeing them and you've had conflict recently, it seems like this is something that's heavily on their mind, and they may even be having trouble concentrating because they're so focused on this. Another thing is they might dress quite alternatively, or they might be really intimidating to others. Like others might say that they feel like this person is quite intimidating. I definitely think that this person shows a softer side with you, and I think they really enjoy tapping into that side of themselves, like the softer, more romantic elements of them. I also feel like this is the type of person to not let their challenges get them down. They, like I said, always tend to look at the glass half full. They try to be optimistic and positive, but I do feel there is an aspect where a lot of people may be jealous of this person because it seems like things just work out for them. It seems like they just have a lot of luck. They may come from a prosperous family, or it may just seem like everything works out for them. They may not feel that way, but from the outside, it does look like that. And if you are with them or have dated them in the past, I would not be shocked if you've had people say that like they're jealous of, they wish they were in your position, or that they're jealous of you, or that you may have been like a little bit intimidated by this because people may have tried to throw themselves at this person. And I can see that this is the type of person who when they're committed to someone, they are absolutely loyal. But I can also see here that this person may sometimes be too friendly in ways that could be seen as like flirting, or someone could perceive that as flirting. I don't think it's their intention, but I do think that this person doesn't assume ill intent in others, or doesn't assume, they're kind of innocent when it comes to what they expect from other people. So like if someone was flirting with them, they may not have even realized it, and they could have just been accepting it. Like I'm thinking of the example of the frog example. Someone could be coming in and being like, oh wow, like I really like frogs, like I really want to hop with you or something. And they'd be like, yeah, I like frogs too. I don't really hop much, but, and then they might like info dump about frogs for, 20 minutes, not even realizing that they were, that the person was not actually interested in frogs. They were just interested in hopping in your person's pants or something like that. But anyway, I could see that could be a point of contention where you may pick up from like a mile away something that's not as innocent as it seems, and this person may invalidate that or be like, no, I don't think that's the case. I feel like sometimes this person might try to be so fair that at times it can feel unfair to those close to them. But no matter what, the state of your current relationship with them is one where you guys have you guys are going through a chaotic and difficult time right now. The fact that we have this storm card here, and that could be within the relationship or something happening externally that's placing a lot of challenge on it. Or if this is a past person, this is someone who I would say you're probably not currently talking to, but that is showing up in your dreams, or you've been thinking about a lot. And it could be that what ended things was some kind of storm between the two of you, some sort of argument, some sort of, or like I said before, external chaos that neither of you could really control, but it may have caused things to get heated. It may have caused the both of you to maybe say things you didn't mean, or push the other away. And from what I can see here, it's like you both are keeping a distance from one another, no matter what the case is. There's definitely a bit of a distance here, and I feel like both of you have been in a state of self-reflection about your role in things, and also I feel like you may be seeing and appreciating things you didn't before. If you are in this, if you are with this person, I do think that there's more emphasis on the like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have said that, or I could have gone about this in a different way. And also and you may be like kind of realizing, wow, I didn't appreciate that this person, texts me in the morning, or that they do certain things. You might be kind of realizing how your emotions clouded, your angry emotions, your frustrated emotions, your gripes clouded certain things that you forgot to appreciate. And if this is a past person, I think you are reflecting on like things that you miss about this person, that you miss about the connection the two of you shared. But I can definitely tell both of you are kind of, no matter what the situation is, on there's a little bit of distance between the two of you in terms of interacting with one another. If you're in a relationship, it seems like maybe you guys are taking time to cool down and just trying to be respectful of one another, but there's a lot of pent up energy, and maybe just this desire to reconcile things, this desire to take responsibility for what's yours, but also, hash out the things that you haven't discussed. And I would say if this is a past person, the both of you are kind of thinking about one another a lot. Like I said, you know, I wouldn't be shocked if you're showing up in one another's dreams. And I wouldn't be shocked too if both of you have kind of turned a page on how you look at those past events and maybe seen like your role in it, seen how both of you contributed to this dynamic, or how things played out. I think of the like phrase that, you know, time heals all wounds. So it may be that you're looking at things differently. I feel like no matter what though, there is this deeper loyalty between the two of you with these two dogs here. I feel like both of you do ultimately have, well, we'll look at their feelings in a second, but I feel like there is this loyalty between the two of you, especially if you're currently in a relationship with one another where it's like, okay, yeah, we may need to take time to cool off before we hash things out or before we talk about things. But also, you know, if it hasn't been an argument between the two of you, it seems like a lot of the chaos, and this is specifically if you're in a relationship with this person, the external chaos may be creating a lot of stress and pressure that is leading the both of you to argue or get angry at one another and take things out on one another that are not necessarily the other person's fault, but it's just like it's just your frustration going somewhere, and you may be like, you both may be seeing like, okay, yeah, like this is where I could have done things better, or this is where I could have done things differently. There's definitely the desire to communicate if you're not communicating, and I definitely think there is a desire for things to be just made right, or at the very least resolved. I feel like there's a lack of closure no matter what your situation is, where the both of you kind of want to calm things down a little bit. And I'm thinking of something specifically, especially if you're in a relationship with this person, where you may be like, I thought things would be different. I like, maybe this is the first time you guys have argued, or this is the first like intense argument you've had. And maybe you're like, well, maybe this is the wrong person, or maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. Like, and there's this phrase that I really like, and that I like to use a lot, which is smooth seas don't make for good sailors, which is perfect given the deck that you chose. And so I definitely think no matter what chaos has occurred, there's definitely an element of both of you growing and learning together. And one thing I will say is no matter what, there's a deep level of respect between the two of you. And I think that this situation is causing both of you to really grow and see things outside of your normal perspective. And if this is a past person, I definitely think that you and them have both grown a lot since the past. And I think you both can see where you played a part. And I definitely think one of the things that may have played a part is just immaturity and things like that. But if that resonates, then hello, welcome to your group. We're gonna go ahead and get into your tarot now and see how this person is currently feeling about you. But if you're interested, after this reading, we will be doing an extended where we look at what is next in terms of the next meeting / next significant shift between you and this person. So if you want to check that out, that'll be linked down below. If you enjoy vulgarity and extra me, definitely feel free to check that out. But if not, I'm just grateful you're here. Hi. And if you do want to show me a little bit of support or appreciation, just liking the video, commenting how it resonates, subscribing, letting the ads play, all really helpful and free ways to support me. So thank you to everyone who does that, but just in general, thank you for being here. I feel like my energy doesn't feel off, but I feel very unsure of myself as I'm talking, and I'm having a harder time. Like when I channel, things just kind of flow through me, and I feel like it's very representative of this situation where things just aren't flowing as naturally as they usually do, probably because of the circumstances that occurred, or because of the fact that you and this person have not talked in a long time, if this is a past person. But yeah, rest assured, no matter what occurred between the two of you, it is really bothering this person, and it is something that I do feel they want to resolve. We'll see here. I definitely think that they are not someone who takes things lightly, and they don't get over things easily either. So pile 2's person, Spirit, how are they currently feeling about pile 2, please? We have the World And we have the 10 of Pentacles. How are they currently feeling about pile 2, please? We have the Chariot. How are they currently feeling about... We have the Fool. And one more. How are they currently feeling? We have the 10 of Swords. Yeah, wow. Okay. What's on the back of the deck? 2 of Pentacles. So for those of you who this is a past person, I definitely feel like they're in a much better situation than they used to be in. I feel like enough time has passed. But if you are currently in a relationship with them, I feel like this person is debating how long to kind of keep this element of distance going. The fact that we have 3 major arcanas here goes to show that they're having quite significant feelings for you. Not that a lack of major arcanas indicates a lack of significant feelings, but the major arcana cards do hold more weight than the minor cards. And the fact that we have the World and the Fool here, I think one of the biggest things that this person is feeling is that they want to turn over a new leaf with you. They want to let go of the past. And I do feel like they want to move towards you. If you're in a relationship with them, I think there is this heavy significance on putting the past in the past with this 10 of Swords. I do feel like they're kind of realizing their role in things, and they may be feeling a little bit foolish for how they behaved or certain things that they said. I definitely think there's a strong energy of new beginnings, and with this 10 of Pentacles, if they are not already abundant, I feel like one of the things that they are recognizing is the fact that they see you as a very valuable partner in terms of accumulating wealth. Like, they could see you as someone who's very evenly matched, but I feel like this is more so about them seeing your worth and seeing you as family, as someone that they, you know, want to continue investing in, someone that they want to continue building a life with. They may, if you don't have a family with them already, that may be something that they're wanting. And I think that they're also kind of recognizing how important you are to their world. You know, the World card is a lot about like closing out cycles and kind of graduating from one phase to another. And the fact that we have both the World and the Fool, really, and 2 10s, goes to show that this person has reached a place of awareness, understanding, and completion around certain cycles in their life where they're seeing themselves more clearly, they're seeing their mistakes more clearly, and they're also seeing what is truly important to them. I feel like they're in a much more balanced place. I wouldn't be shocked if there was conflict between the two of you, if that happened when one or both of you were heavily sleep deprived or not really able to care for yourselves. It seems like there was a lot going on, and your person at least was quite unbalanced. I do feel if there is history here, and this is someone you're not currently seeing, there is a lot of worry and fear that the past, like that this situation is over and that they will not be able to make a difference. They will not be able to make things right. I do feel like, though, there is the desire to at least try to, especially with that Chariot here. It's like they want to be successful in this relationship with you, or they want to be successful in resolving things with you. I feel like they are curious about, if this is a past person, maybe having a new beginning with you, or just at the very least contacting you and talking to you and just seeing where you're at and seeing what it might lead to. I feel like there's this element of, you know, trying not to jump ahead or get too far ahead of themselves. But I do think that they're at a much different place than they were when the two of you had this falling out in the past. Now, if this person is presently in a relationship with you, then I do think that they really want to resolve the issues between the two of you. And also, I feel like they're also, one important thing here is if you pointed out things to them about certain family members and certain cycles and patterns, they're starting to see it. The truth is, though, I don't know how honest they're going to be about their awareness of it quite yet, because I do think it could be quite shocking, like, for them to start seeing this. become aware of how it's affected them. There may be a little bit of shame involved in that, but I do feel like they are seeing where maybe they have been unfair to you and given other people in their life more of the benefit of the doubt than you. And I feel like they're feeling really bad about that. I feel like if you walked away from this person, they're understanding why. And it's like, oh, okay, I'm seeing this a lot more clearly. I definitely think that the biggest thing that this person feels is just a desire to make things right, and a desire to like open a new chapter with you, to start fresh with you. And if this is a person from your past, what start fresh means may not be necessarily like, oh, I want to date and be in a relationship again, but it may be like, I want to see where you're at, and then maybe let's see where things go. It's a very open, like, they don't know necessarily what the goal is here, but they just want to close out old cycles and make things right. No matter what, this person wants to make things right and bring resolution to the situation. But I also feel like this person is recognizing how special you are. You are honest with this person in a way where I feel like a lot of people aren't. And especially if this person has a lot, it seems like there could be a lot of yes men or ass kissers around them that just kind of tell them what they want to hear. And also I feel like there's an important element here where they feel like you have a very nurturing presence that not everyone gives to them. Like, this is someone who is used to giving a lot and being expected to give a lot, and they're happy to do that. But I feel like your presence in their life has made them realize that they need someone who's going to give to them as well. And you've done that in ways where I'm hearing the Haley Steinfeld song, I think it's called Starving, and there's this line that's like, I didn't know I was starving until I tasted you. And I feel like, I mean, there could be some literal elements of that, but I think that you nourished their heart in a way that they've never had anyone else do again. And ever since you did that, and ever since you made them feel loved, nourished, cared for, and I don't even think this had to be in specific, I mean, I guess the specific circumstances would be determined by, you know, your individual experiences with them and the ways in which you show and express love. But I feel like this person received a type of love from you that they didn't realize that they needed. Like, maybe this person always felt that a lack of reciprocity was love, and it was just their role to give to others. But with you, I think they realized, like, oh wow, this can feel really nice when someone else is giving back to me and when someone is seeing me. Like, you saw them realistically, and also you didn't put up with their shit, or you don't put up with their shit, and maybe that's something they're not used to. So for example, if you are in a relationship with them, it could be that past people didn't call them out, didn't speak up to them, didn't want to ruffle their feathers, and you didn't care about walking on eggshells around them. You were going to be honest. You are honest, and I think that's something that they not only realize is challenging to deal with, but also worth it and important, because I feel like they're recognizing where they've gotten away with certain behaviors in the past because people were too afraid, or people weren't able to be honest with them in the same way. I definitely think that they want to continue becoming a better person, and I feel like they are realizing your value beyond what's already there. Like, I feel like they're having insights about you that in this time apart, or in this time where you're cooling off, they're just realizing, like, wow, I didn't appreciate that Pile 2 did this for me, or wow, I didn't appreciate that Pile 2 calls it like it is. You know, this person, sometimes I feel like you're more likely to be blunt and just say things how you feel, whereas this person, they always try to be honest, but they'll pepper their language with things to make the truth softer, if that makes sense. And there's an aspect to you that really feels like family, and they feel like you balance them out really, really well. And I feel like they just want to put an end to the discord between the two of you, and end to this icing one another out, or if this is a past person, they want to put an end to this lack of closure, this lack of resolve. And I feel like in that process of getting closure and getting to a place of peace, they want to kind of see if maybe something new can occur. I definitely think that this person is feeling optimistic no matter what. If you're in a relationship with this person, they feel like this conflict or chaos between the two of you was very necessary. And if you're feeling really guilty about certain things that you said, I feel like that's normal and understandable, but I think you said some things, no matter how harshly, that they needed to hear, they needed to see about themselves, because there's an awareness that you won't lie to them. And maybe they've had people lie to them in the past, or people tell them these things before, but they didn't say it in a way that really stuck. Like, for example, they could have had people maybe point out, hey, your mom kind of does XYZ, and I see that in you. And they might have been like, yeah, but she doesn't mean it that way. And they might have just written it off. But I guess it's like coming from you. Not only is it honest, but it wasn't delivered in a careful way, in a way where you were kind of holding back. And so I feel like it really opened their eyes. I can definitely see that this person is becoming more and more aware of how their upbringing and how their family just influenced their behavior, and they're just becoming aware of their blind spots. And I feel like they're hoping that they can talk to you about these and get really honest feedback, because they don't want to be the type of person that is blind to their own weaknesses. Like, this is someone who always wants to be better. And I feel like they've been reflecting a lot on just like how special and valuable you are, because like there is the things that you provide them, money can't buy, and the things that you give them, they can't go out and earn elsewhere. I feel like one thing that I feel them saying is that you're kind of the complete package. And I think that there are aspects of you that, if this is a past person, like I said, that maybe blunt nature of yours, the willingness to call people out no matter what, they may have been turned off by it in the past because they weren't ready to face those things, and they may have felt like you were literally wrong. And like I said, if this is a past person, they have had experiences that have really shown them like, oh no, Pile 2 is right about that. And if you are currently dating this person, I feel like they are realizing how maybe they haven't shown you how special you are, and they're feeling really guilty about that. And I think they're also, through this hardship, they're realizing like, I need to do a better job at prioritizing Pile 2's needs, prioritizing ways to make Pile 2 feel valued and feel special. And also I need to reiterate to them that I didn't realize I was hurting you that much. Like, the specific example I'm getting is that this person may have invalidated your feelings or invalidated how their actions hurt you. And like that example that I was using of maybe accepting flirtatious behavior from other people, and you maybe bringing it up to them, and them not seeing it as flirtation, and you as seeing it that, and they may be realizing like, oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter if they were or not. The fact that it's hurting, my Pile 2, that should be more important than whether they really were or not. I feel like they're kind of seeing where that just attitude may be a point, maybe causing them to do injustices towards you that they don't mean to. And I think that there's kind of this realization that because they see you as like, if you're in a relationship with them, and this could have applied if you were in a relationship with them in the past, because they felt that you are a sure thing, like that you are a solid presence in their life, that they could kind of get away with, and not get away with like in a way where they're trying to be sneaky or unfair, but just at the very least get away with being fair to people that they're less close to, or doing what they think is fair to people closest to them, because that aren't as close to them, because they may care more about how those people perceive them. They may care more about not upsetting those people. And I feel like they just kind of underestimated the things that bothered you and underestimated how their actions and in their attempt to do what they perceive as the right thing can actually be the wrong thing in terms of your relationship and the wrong thing in terms of what's fair to you. And I think they're realizing like, wow, okay, I think this was kind of imbalanced. I think that they're also just wanting to, no matter what your situation is with them, allow things to come full circle, to turn a new leaf. And excuse me, if you are in a relationship with them, I feel like they just want to, you know, let things go. But after you resolve things and just kind of, you know, start a new phase and continue to try to do better, it's like they want to get back to just the wonderful feelings that exist when things are good between the two of you. And if you haven't talked to this person in a long time, I feel like they really want to, at the very least, resolve things, and if they can, try to see where things go with you. So with that being said, let's go ahead and see, using channeled messages, what they want you to know or what they would say to you. So Spirit, what would pile 2's person say to pile 2 if they could be completely honest? Another thing I will say, like, that I was just thinking about was, like, I don't really like being in this person's energy. And it's kind of funny because they seem to be quite a lovely person, but I think the reason I thought that and felt that way was because they really don't like how they feel about this situation. They really don't like that there's this unresolved tension, this unresolved energy. And I feel like if they've come to an understanding about how they hurt you and how their actions hurt you, I feel like there's a lot of guilt and shame around that, and they really don't want to sit in that longer than they have to. But yeah, we have following my dreams. So I do feel like, dreams again. So maybe one of the points of contention was that in following their own dreams, they neglected your relationship, or maybe they are realizing that you belong in those dreams. I was kind of hearing You Belong With Me by Taylor Swift in my head, but I was hearing it as like, you belong in my dreams, like that. And maybe they had a dream where they resolve things with you or they talk to you, so they're like, I want to act on what happened in my dream. Or maybe they had a dream of your future together, or a dream of, you know, an occurrence between the two of you that they really wanted to happen. So they're like, yeah, let's follow that. I do feel like you play a role in their dreams and in how they see their future. What else, Spirit? What else would they say to pile 2? Also, sorry about my voice. I don't know what's going on with it. I think that there's just a lot of pent up energy in the throat for both of you, and I probably do need to drink a little more water. Anyway, what else would they say to pile 2, please? We have, I feel like we're in different dimensions, and I like even the dark parts of you. So yeah, I feel like this is a confirmation of the fact that they just feel very disconnected from you, and they don't like that. There's this synergy that the both of you have, and if you guys live together, or if you guys have spent extended periods of time together, it just seems like you work so well together, and things just flow more easily around you. And I think that they are also realizing, like, if they were angry at you for telling them certain things, like, one of the things I think they're realizing is that they appreciate the parts of you that may be more challenging for them to deal with. Like, for example, that blunt honesty, which, to be fair, you can be honest and kind. And I feel like you could only be biting when you're in a particularly heightened state of emotion and you've just been brought to your wit's end, or you're like quite you're quite like sleep deprived, or just not doing well. I feel like they really enjoy and appreciate the fact that you show them all parts of yourself, and they're realizing as well that you accepted them in those ways, and that is something very special. And I feel like they really don't like how disconnected they are from you. But One more card, please, Spirit. What would they say to pile for? I guess we're getting 2. Yeah, growing apart, and I will follow you anywhere. So I definitely think that one thing that this person is realizing is that they need to make more compromises if things are going to work out. I feel like they hate the distance that's been created between the two of you if you are with them or seeing them. And if they are from your past, I feel like they're realizing that they needed to kind of grow apart. Like you guys needed to go both of your ways so that they could realize like how special having you in their life is, and they fully recognize like that may not mean that there's still a vibe between the two of you. That may not mean that things will work out between the two of you now, but at the very least they want to try, and they want to at least bring peace to this situation. So let's go ahead and get some guidance for you now and see what the universe would like you to know. So pile 2, Spirit, what guidance would you give them at this time when it comes to this situation with their person? We have rest. Give yourself time to recuperate. So yeah, I definitely feel like if you're not ready to talk to this person yet, definitely give yourself the time and space that you need to. And if you do have to have a difficult conversation with them, definitely make sure you're feeling good physically, like you've had enough sleep, you've had time to just kind of care for yourself. And because like I said just a little bit ago, it seems like if you're not in a great state physically, or if you're just really stressed or worn out, it can cause you to say things that you don't mean, or for honest things that you need to say to come out in a much more harsh tone. And I feel like this person is not very good at taking criticism because they're not used to being criticized. They kind of have a golden energy to them where it's like they've always kind of been in situations where they were praised, or they're usually not in the wrong. And I feel like they're kind of realizing where it's just really good to be with you, because they realize how a lot of their relationships in the past were fake, and how maybe they even deliberately chose people that they felt were not on their level, or that were maybe more chaotic or more dangerous, in the sense that their actions could be unpredictable, or they would just be more likely to hurt your person. I feel like your person would be drawn to people that would be more likely to hurt them, so that, if things went bad, then they wouldn't have to be responsible for that. Or it's like, oh, well, it wasn't me. And I think they're realizing that that with you, that's one of the hard things, is that, there isn't a clear-cut line of it's all your fault, pile 2, or it's all their fault. It's like, I feel like both of you contribute to certain dynamics, but I feel like in your case, there may be things that, they just didn't see before until you pointed them out. And so I definitely think Spirit is also saying, in that rest, pay attention to your dreams, pay attention to what comes through with that. And if you need more time before you interact with them, you may need to tell them that, or if you're unsure of what to do, give yourself time and space to rest. And maybe just in general, you may just need to give yourself time to rest and sleep. That's very important. Sleep is very important. What else, Spirit? What else would you like? What other guidance would you like to give, Kyle? Okay. That's a lot, but I'll give you all of them. We have freedom. Spread your wings. So I definitely think Spirit is saying, do what is in your best interest. If you don't want to reach out to this person, if you don't do what you feel is right. You are free to do whatever is right. And with caution, keep your guard up. I would definitely say take that as it resonates, but be careful who you talk to about this with, because there could be people that have less than pure intentions, or people that want to see this situation fail. So they might say things. But I guess also with your person, and I hope this isn't your case, but like they could want to bring peace to this situation more than they want to admit their wrongs. So, if them coming clean, or them admitting to their role in things, is very important to you, make sure you don't let them like just excuse that or gloss over that. We also have healing. Allow light to enter your wounds, and I'm gonna kind of cover this up so I don't get in trouble. But yeah, I definitely think that there's room for a lot of healing in this situation. And I also feel with this freedom card as well that there is no specific outcome at this time. Well, I guess if you have an idea that things can only happen in one certain way, or you have this idea that you have to do things a certain way, I feel like Spirit is reminding you that you don't. Like, you have the freedom to do whatever is best for you. But finally, we have fire, transformation, rebirth, renewal. So yeah, I feel like whatever you guys are going through right now is allowing the both of you to transform and grow either closer together, or, you know, you've already gone through, like, I feel like a lot of the fire is kind of in the past, and now it's time for, you know, the rebirth, growing, or renewal of things. But that requires a willingness to put the last of those fires out, to put the past in the past, and bring about that resolution. But I'm going to go ahead now and see what is next for you guys. If you're interested in looking at that, that will be linked down below. It'll be on Vimeo. But if you're leaving me here, thank you guys so much for watching. And thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background while you do something else, because that is the easiest way to support me and show appreciation for my channel. But if you would like to do that in other ways, you can like this video, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already. Be sure to click that little notification bell. If you want me to see your comments, I usually see comments when I first upload. After that, it's purely at random. Shout out to my notification squad though. Thank you guys for clicking that notification bell and always showing up. If you'd like to support me in other ways, you can check out my candles. Be sure to use code ASO10 for 10% off. You can check out my social media or other videos. So that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching and for letting me read for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Moonstone and the Black Line Tarot, this is going to be your reading on how the person you are asking about is currently feeling about you. Well, hopefully the person you're asking about. So we're going to look at who this person is and what the current state of your relationship, connection is, whatever you want to call it. If this does not resonate, this is not your reading. If you want a full breakdown of the reading, there is one in the intro. And if this sounds like you to the point where it doesn't sound like your person, then I would also try a different group. So to start with who this person is, we have Earth. We have Raccoon. We have Acquisition. And we have the Empress. Taurus is having a moment in these readings. Anyway, the current state of your connection, the energy between the two of you, we have Tolerance. You appreciate other points of view because you sense the love in everyone. We have Security. We have Teamwork. And Fractal. Okay. Well, you certainly might resonate a lot with certain aspects of what I'm about to talk about, but I feel like for a lot of you, this is someone that you're currently interested in, or that you have feelings for but haven't left the friend zone yet, or haven't really, you may be unsure how they feel, you may be unsure of what's going on between the two of you. I feel like this is someone in your environment, or someone that you either work with, you go to school with, someone that is in your vicinity, someone that I wouldn't be shocked if you guys are friends or friendly with each other, but it seems like there's maybe deeper feelings here. You could also be with this person. I am seeing a couple of scenarios, but like the strongest one that is standing out to me is that this is something that hasn't really gotten off the ground, and you might be unsure if this person even has interest in you. And I could understand why. And also, like, I will just say, if your scenario doesn't fit that, but the energy is still resonating, then this is still your reading. Because I could also see this scenario as someone that you're already with, or someone that you are seeing, but just the vibe that I'm feeling the most is that this is either like a newer connection, or if you are in a connection with them, it's been one that's quite stable and consistent, and there's a very set pattern of relating between the two of you. But let's just start with who this is. So this is definitely someone who is on the quieter side, someone who is quite talented creatively or artistically, but they may not necessarily share it. Writing is one thing that comes to mind, but I definitely see that they are not the type of person to be at the center of the room. This is definitely someone who hangs out on the periphery. This is someone who's more observant. But one special quality that they have is when you are like talking to them one-on-one, they have this ability to make people feel at ease. And they have this ability to make you feel very valued and heard. And there is a calming presence to this person that is quite admirable. And I think people might take this for granted. This is someone who I would say is pretty conflict avoidant, someone who doesn't really get into conflict with people very often. They're very grounded, quite stable. Financially speaking, they are stable in that area. I feel like they're probably pretty consistent. This is not someone to do something out of impulse. They definitely are quite insecure and are extremely hard on themselves. I actually wanted to use the word excruciatingly hard on themselves, but they are so compassionate and caring. They may have a special love for animals, or they could be a parent. They are certainly someone who values long-term commitment. So, for example, this could be someone that you are in a commitment with or someone that you see having a commitment with. This is definitely someone who is not interested in like dating around or even really changing up their routine to open up to new possibilities. I feel like they can get pretty set in their ways, and they have a tendency to be quiet and not really advocate for themselves or show off very much. I definitely think there's someone who gets overlooked a lot because they are unwilling to speak up for themselves, or they're unwilling to draw attention to themselves, or they may not feel good enough about what they're trying to share. Like an example that I'm thinking of is if they were supposed to write about themselves, it would be really hard for them to write positive things. I feel like they don't look at themselves very accurately, and a lot of their internal fears really hold them back from sharing more of themselves, but they have such a kind heart. And I feel like they're the type of person that is more than willing to give the shirt off their back. I wouldn't be shocked if this person volunteers or donates money to causes that are very important to them. Philanthropy is certainly important to them, and I can just see here that this is someone that's very reliable, very responsible, very consistent, but maybe not very good at sharing, being open with others, sharing themselves. Like, I could definitely see that if this is someone that has a crush on you, it could take a very, very, very long time for them to even be open with that. They're definitely more receptive to other people initiating, and I think that's something that they prefer. But they have a really rich inner world that I can't necessarily tap into because they keep it under lock and key. But it definitely comes out in their creative pursuits, but I don't really think they share their creative pursuits with others. Maybe they've shown you certain things, or maybe you've caught them like doodling or doing something creative that you're like, wow, that's really good. And they are maybe embarrassed or shy about it and like, no, it's bad, it sucks. They definitely talk down about themselves, which I don't approve of, but that's just my opinion. In terms of signs, very heavy earth energy. We have Taurus coming up in every single card, including the Empress. The Empress is also ruled by Libra, so Libra energy could be significant, and with Sun in Taurus, so they could be a Taurus Sun. Leo is ruled by the Sun, so Leo energy could be significant. And the other two earth signs are Capricorn and Virgo, so heavy earth. I definitely think that overall this person is someone who people trust, but I can definitely see that they're lack of confidence causes others to take advantage of them, and their kindness is definitely something that gets taken advantage of. I definitely feel like they don't see their worth, and they have a hard time like accepting praise or receiving compliments. I definitely think they keep to themselves, but they are a really wonderful friend to have. But they're definitely someone, you know who they remind me of? They remind me of Kip from Futurama. Maybe a little bit more assertive, or a little bit more, a little less spineless, I guess I would say. Like, they have more of a spine. They can say no, they can set boundaries. It's just they prefer not to, and will avoid conflict, will avoid, you know, any chaos or things that would just mess with their stability. Because I do think that they feel quite intensely, and the way they deal with that intensity is just by holding it in and processing it through their own creative endeavors, and also just through like avoiding things that make them feel intensely. So this person, if they have intensive feelings for you, which I'm kind of getting the vibe that they do, they might kind of avoid you a little bit. But at the same time, let's talk about the energy of your connection. So I feel like whatever energy exists between the two of you seems to not really change. If you have hopes of this person, like for example, if you have a friendship dynamic, it seems like any hopes of that shifting seem to never happen. I feel like both of you are afraid to talk about your feelings, but with this security card, I feel like both of you feel safe in one another's presence, and you value and cherish spending time with each other. The fact that we have this tolerance card, sure, there could be things that you tolerate about the other. I feel like for you, that would be the fact that this person doesn't speak up for themselves, the fact that this person maybe just doesn't see their value. And maybe for your person, it's like they tolerate the things that hold them back from being more open with you. But the biggest interpretation I was getting for this tolerance card was that you both tolerate the current barriers that exist to connecting more deeply, and that could be outside of you. Like, a big example that I'm getting is that like you work with this person, or you are in a situation with this person where you guys work together, especially with this teamwork here. But if you're already in a relationship with them, then I would say that there's this unending, or just there's just this unending pattern of stability, of trust, of mutual camaraderie, of just working well together and appreciating one another, of accepting one another. And this fractal card to me is just saying that like the overall, there's a very stable energy between the two of you. You feel safe with one another. You feel secure in what's happened and in your relationship. It may be that this person just isn't the best at telling you about how they feel, or at times, you know, you both may get caught up in your own insecurities and fears. But I can see here that like the energy between the two of you is quite solid. And this energy reminds me, like, an example I'm thinking of is Jim and Pam from The Office, where, you know, it's obvious that, going back to like the biggest example that I'm getting is like, if it's a friendship, right, only a friendship right now, it's like it takes forever for that to get off the ground, obviously for different reasons and things like that. And one of those reasons, like maybe one of you is seeing someone else. Like, maybe, for example, let's say you're a Pam and you're dating a Roy, and your person tolerates you being in that relationship because they don't have the confidence to speak up, or they feel like it's not their place to intrude. The vibe that I'm getting here is that there is this underlying energy of feelings for each other, but both of you, I feel like, are afraid to mess with the established friendship, and worried that you could lose that and lose the synergy you do have already if you were to speak up about that. I feel like if you are not already in a relationship with them, you may feel very uncertain of whether they just feel friendly feelings for you or if they feel something more. We will look at that. I can definitely just see here, though, that the energy between the two of you is very consistent and very, I can tell you value one another. You guys work really well together. You guys have a very harmonious energy between the two of you, and you cherish the time spent. I feel like both of you might get frustrated sometimes, especially if you do mainly connect with each other in like a work circumstance, or in like a just in an environment where there are other people, because you may have like people intrude on your time together. Like, let's say, for example, you guys can finally go and have lunch on your own, and then someone invites themselves and maybe both of you are kind of the type to just say nothing and just be like, oh yeah, sure. Like, or you may accept those things because you're afraid to let the other know that you might have interest more deeply than that. I definitely feel like both of you are afraid of messing with the established dynamic. And it's possible that your connection with this person follows a pattern in your life. Like, maybe they are the type of person you're interested in, or maybe you're finding yourself in situations where, you know, it's hard to tell whether a person is interested in you or not. Like, you may wonder if there is something deeper here. But I can definitely see here, no matter what, like, I feel like there's a hard line between you're either already in a relationship with this person and things are pretty solid, stable. And even in that case, I'm like, love to read for that scenario, but I'm curious as to why you're here, which I would probably guess is because maybe you just want to understand how your person feels, because maybe they're not the best at communicating that. But I feel like for the vast majority of you, this is someone where it's like, are they just, do they only see me as a friend, or like, is this something more? I don't know. So let's see. So put this moonstone down now. How now, brown cow? Well, I definitely think there's a little feelings, at least. I don't know how this Page of Cups became flipped, but I definitely think that there's flirty feelings and the beginning stages of feelings, at least. I'll take that Page of Cups as a sign. But if this continues to resonate and you want to know what is next for you and this person, definitely check out the extended, which will be linked down below. We'll be looking at the next big shift / next significant meeting between the two of you. So if you want to check that out, that'll be linked down below. But I'm just grateful you're here. I'm grateful for any form of support you bring my way, like leaving a little like. Thank you to everyone who does that. A little comment, letting the ads play. All of that is super, super helpful. So thank you to everyone who does that. Oh my gosh. Okay. But really though, speaking of Futurama, Kip and Amy are such goals though. Like they're such a sweet couple. Not saying that you guys are like Kip and Amy, but maybe you're Kip and Kip. But you know, the way that like Kip gets so flustered about Amy and he's just like so in love with her. I don't know. I don't want to speak because we haven't gotten these cards out yet, but I wonder if a dynamic like that could be going on. Okay. I should also mention, if you are in a different relationship and this is technically not okay for you to be watching, I'm not passing judgment, but you do what is right for you. Just don't tell those people you're watching and send them my way, because that happens sometimes. And I'm just like, bro, I'm just a pair of talking hands on the internet. Like, I'm not responsible for the choices that you choose to make. You do what feels right in your heart. But anyway, even if you are, like, even if that is the case, like, you know, sometimes we stay in things longer than necessary just because we're afraid of what might happen if we have the courage to change our current circumstances. And maybe, you know, by doing stuff like this, or like by watching these videos, you can get that courage or just kind of work through feelings without making any drastic decisions. I'm not telling you what to do with your life. I'm just telling you whatever you choose to do, that's your choice. Don't bring any scorned individuals my way, because they will get told off. And I have done that. Anyway, this person, pile 3's person, Spirit, how are they feeling about pile 3? What are their true feelings for pile 3? We have the King of Wands. Ooh. Ooh, okay. We have the Ten of Pentacles and the King of Swords. What are their current feelings for pile 3? Oh yeah, we have the Ace of Cups. One more, Spirit. We have the Nine of Swords. Yep, that makes a lot of sense. Back of the deck is the Six of Wands. So there's definitely a lot of investment in what you feel for them. I feel vindicated by like the vibes that I was getting. And I'm just gonna quickly speak to those of you that are already in a relationship with this person. They are definitely afraid of smothering you with how much they feel for you. And I definitely think that for all of you, this person is someone who is really uncomfortable with expressing passion. I wonder if they come from a family where people weren't really very open about their feelings, or it wasn't accepted or okay to have strong feelings. But this person has very strong feelings for you, and if they're not if this is a friendship situation, I feel like this person works really hard to stay objective, and I feel like they've held back a lot of impulse to instigate something further. They might have certain plans about, like, I feel like it would take all this person's strength to ask you out on a date. If you are with this person, I feel like they are planning and thinking about your future. They see you as family, and they fully intend on continuing this relationship. Like, I think they have fears of losing it, so they probably hold back because they're afraid of, like, what if pile 3 knew how strongly I felt for them? Like, what if they got weirded out and left me? But for those of you where you haven't moved beyond the friend zone, like, this person definitely has a lot of feelings for you. Like, they get butterflies when they're around you. I feel like they do a lot in terms of talking themselves out of it, though, because they're like, no, maybe it's just easier if I don't say anything, because it's like they still if you haven't gone beyond the friend zone yet, I definitely think they see you as someone that they could have a real future with. And they're very serious about that. And I feel like they want to be so sure before they make a move. It's like they don't need like a sign. They need 7 trillion signs. Like, they need to be so sure that you feel the same. Because number 1, the fears of ruining the dynamic you already have are really strong. And number 2, this person is so afraid of being rejected by you, because that would just be like heartbreaking for them, and also it would destroy the fantasies they already have. Your person really prides themselves on staying rational and objective, and I feel like your person is so hard on themselves that they have a hard time picking up on signs that you might be interested in them. Like, if you flirt with them or anything like that, they may not even pick up on it as flirting. I definitely think that they feel like they want to share how they feel, because they have so many feelings when they're around you, and I feel like it takes a lot for them to just keep them contained and not like melt into a puddle when they're around you. But I really feel like their family did a number, maybe not for all of you, but for some of you, their family really did a number in terms of them feeling like they were good enough for love, or that, you know, anyone would even, that they would even be desirable, or that anyone would want them. And that just makes me so sad, because this person seems like a genuinely wonderful person who is like, has so much to offer. And I feel like they have a hard time seeing that. I feel like this person feels both a desire and pressure to take the lead in this situation, but they're very much afraid to, because what if it leads to you no longer wanting, like, what if you don't feel the same way, and then they've lost you even as a friend. And they also don't want you to, gosh, this person overthinks. They do not want you to think that they were only your friend in the first place because they had romantic feelings for you. Like, this person has run down like every scenario in their head for how things could possibly go wrong, but I feel like they haven't really thought about how things could go right. And that makes me sad, because this person really does not value themselves as much as they should. I do feel like you are a muse for them, and they channel a lot of their feelings into creative works. I would be willing to bet they've got like poems about you, or just creative inspirations that are in creative works that are inspired by you, that you either don't know about at all, or maybe they've shown you but not alluded that they are connected to you. With the 10 of Pentacles, they see like having a family with you, or they want a family with you, especially if you're already with this person. They don't, like, you're it for them. I don't think that, I think that they just see things growing even more. I feel like they just have a hard time trusting when to move things forward, and I think they have these intense fears that you'll just wake up one day and be like, actually, I don't like my person, and I'm gonna break up with them. What it really is their own insecurities being projected outwards. I feel like if you're already with them, they have this like, but why me? Like, what if they wake up and realize like I'm not good enough? And that must be frustrating for you, because I don't think there's anything you could do to show this person. They just have to kind of get there, and I feel like they're trying to, but and I honestly, I think one thing that helps is like if you're with them, like being with someone like you. But if you're not with them, which I feel like for a lot of you that's the case, they see a real substantial future with you, and they love the dynamic you already have. And I feel like they are afraid of what will happen if they put themselves on the line. I feel like they're very afraid of that, and their feelings are just building over time. And I feel like they really want to introduce a romantic component, but they're very afraid of what will happen if you reject them. Will it get awkward? Like, I feel like this person, like, for example, if you guys worked at the same place and you rejected them, I'm pretty sure they would quit their job and like find a new one, because they just like couldn't handle even being in the same space. I feel like they would be heartbroken. They think about you all the time. And I feel like one thing I forgot to mention is that they dress really nicely. And this gives me the vibes of like, you know, when you're in school and you get really excited to dress in like a cool outfit to impress your crush, and then they're not there, and it's like, I can't believe I just wasted this outfit. Like, this person may like dress for you or dress to like impress you, and if you're ever not there and they've like wasted an outfit, I think they get really annoyed, and then it's just like, what was all this work even for? But I definitely think that they want to trust the visions that they have to move things further, but their fears stop them. I mean, with this Nine of Swords, like, this person has demons that really hold them back and hold them down. And it's really sad because they have so much power, so much creative power, so much love, so much to give. And I feel like they know that, and it's just, they don't know if they're worthy of receiving the same. And so I feel like if you have feelings for them too, it's pretty solid both ways. I feel like this person just isn't going to be able, if you're waiting for them to make a move, I feel like they're not going to be able to do that until they are 100% sure, or you make the first move. Obviously, we'll look at that more in the extended, and we're going to get guidance here in this reading for you, but I definitely think that they've coached themselves and have planned on having a conversation or like asking you on a date or doing something like that, and then when they see you, all plans just fade and they lose the confidence because they're just so overwhelmed with emotion for you. Like, they really, really, really like you, and if you're with them, they really love you, and they just don't want to mess anything up. That's the biggest thing. And they are so objective, so logical, so careful that it really stops them from allowing their heart to lead. And I feel like just having you as a friend in their life is something that has brought them a lot of confidence and helped them see more value in themselves, and their biggest fear is losing that. I think it would confirm a lot of their inner demons, and I'm not saying it's your responsibility to make them feel better about themselves, but that's a big reason why they haven't come forward or said anything, is because they're just very afraid of losing the dynamic they already have and losing you. It's like they would rather have you in their life as a friend than lose you because they want something more, even though they do want that something more. You know, they would never want anything that you didn't mutually want. But yeah, this is just very they want to take the lead in this situation, but their fears definitely hold them back, and the what ifs hold them back, and they're like, they need more evidence. And when they get that evidence, they need more. And so it's this process. I feel like they're just kind of stuck in this habitual pattern of being in this hopeless hopelessly romantic energy towards you that they feel incapable of acting on, and they gain the courage to, they make plans and gain courage to do that, and then the what if set in, and they're like, well, I don't know, and then what if I lose everything, and what if they don't actually like me, and what if I'm crazy? It's just, it's a lot. There's a lot sitting in it. I'm like, pile 3's person could really benefit from a good therapist, and even if they have one, I don't think they tell their therapist everything. But speaking of what they would say, let's go ahead and see what they would say to you if they could be completely honest. Okay, well, I'll take that as a sign that they have a lot that they would say, a lot of feelings they want to spill. But, and I do feel like once, I feel like this person is also afraid of like overwhelming you if they are open about their feelings. So yeah, it's like, if this person's feelings were water, their conscious mind and fears are the Hoover Dam. Like, they are just holding everything back. So, Spirit, what would pile 3's person say to pile 3 if they could be completely honest and actually share their truth? You are my endgame. Yeah, they see you as like the one, and they're like, well, it's too premature to know. And it's like, I feel like this person wants to make sure that they're not gonna look stupid. But if you're already with them, like, this person knows how they feel. They just like don't ever want to do anything to mess that up, and are afraid of bombarding you with too much love or too much care, or like making you, just turning you off in any way that would make you walk away from them. That's the scariest thing. They're very sweet, but my Aries energy just really wishes I could sit down and just be like, wake the fuck up and see your excellence. Jeez, like, come on. Like Kip, for example, you know, he follows that captain that doesn't wear pants, right? And he's the worst. And Kip is like far more capable, and he just doesn't take control because he doesn't have the confidence. And it's like, your person would be so unstoppable if they just believed in themselves. And I just feel like Edna mode right now, like just wanting to slap your person with peace and love and be like, get yourself together. Like, come on. Where's your backbone? But I will practice tolerance and just hope that they gain that over time. What else would they say to pile 3, Spirit? What else would they say to pile 3? I want you as much as you do. Yeah, I can tell. The feelings are strong here. And I would be willing to bet everyone sees the vibe between the two of you except each other. Maybe you pick up on it, but like, this person is so low-key that you may just have a hard time trusting yourself intuitively. And it could also be that there's someone that you both work with, or that it runs in the same circles, that maybe also has feelings for you or has feelings for them, and tries to sow seeds of doubt in one of you, or create opportunities to just keep the both of you from connecting. So be aware of that. What else would this person... Okay, we have, look at the bigger picture. I miss you and we are one. So I definitely think that this person is like, when they think about what could happen if they instigate something, it's like they could lose you, and that would be horrible, or you guys could come together even more deeply. And they're much more afraid of not being able to be close to you and losing what already exists than taking the risk to see what would happen if they shared their feelings for you. But also, they could just generally miss you. Like, maybe you guys haven't been able to spend as much time, but they definitely feel like you guys are one and the same in a lot of ways. So if you really resonated with that description, maybe you need to get a backbone too. And like, with peace and love, maybe you should just start seeing how great you are and find solutions to be more confident in yourself, because you deserve to be loved and cherished the same way this person does. And maybe you guys could do that together. Okay, pile 3's person, one more. What else would you like to say to pile 3? You are magical to me. Yes, they really do. Like, they see you with stars in their eyes, and like, you guys definitely put one another on a pedestal. And I think that they just like, I don't think this person has ever had a negative thought about you other than like, ugh, why don't they see this about themselves? Or I feel like you both tolerate each other's insecurities and tolerate y'all's lack of seeing how wonderful you both are, which you could fix that by just coming and talking to me, and I will aggressively, well, I guess I'm doing that right now. I'm aggressively reminding you that you are more than you think you are, and take a fucking risk every now and then. I promise you it's worth it. Because I think, even here's the thing, let's just say you weren't ready, or you decided not to take things in that direction. You would still be wonderful friends. I genuinely believe that. But I think both of you want to be more than friends. And if you are already in a relationship with them, this is so solid. Like, I feel like you should encourage them to just share more of themselves, because I don't think you'd be turned off by it. I think it would just bring you closer. Yeah, maybe this person had partners in the past that were really uncomfortable with receiving affection, or were really emotionally unavailable, so your person felt like they couldn't really share how deeply they felt because they would push them away or they would look stupid. Anyway, let's get some guidance for you. Pile 3, Spirit, what guidance would you give to Pile 3 when it comes to this connection and life in general? We have peace, harmony, and contentment. So I definitely think that, like, if you feel peace around this person, if you feel good around this person, like, that's a really good green flag. I also think that you should be at peace with like what risks you're willing to take. And if you are already in a relationship with this person and things are generally peaceful and you're like worried, like, what if that doesn't stay the same way, or what if there's something wrong? Like, if you're used to being in situations with red flags where things are chaotic, just know that peace is a green flag. And I definitely feel like no matter what happens between the two of you, like, the vibes will always remain really loving and understanding and compassionate. And I feel like, too, a lot of harmony could be brought by both of you just being more honest about your feelings, or at the very least, dropping more hints. Please. What else, Spirit? What other guidance would you like to give, Pile? This also reminds me of turtle doves. Like, in Home Alone 2, you know when Kevin makes the friendship with the pigeon lady and he gives her the turtle dove and it's like a symbol of forever friendship? Like, that's your vibe already, no matter what. So, like, I feel like you can trust this. We have breathe. Oh, that's a booby. I gotta hide that because nipples are evil. No, well, female nipples are evil. Male nipples are fine, but I might have to censor that. Inhale, exhale, create space within. So I feel like Spirit is really just asking you to breathe through your fears and not stress too much. And really trust your intuition and just like stop letting your doubts keep this invisible barrier between the two of you. What else? Everything is gonna be fine. Okay, what else? What other guidance do you want to give, Pile 3? We have more tatas, which unfortunately I cannot show you. We have listen, silence your mind, and pay attention. So yeah, I really feel like you can trust the intuitive guidance you're feeling. I also feel like, yeah, and we have action and more exposed breasts. Awaken the warrior woman within. So, or man, or person. If you're tired of the situation staying the same, take action. You know, you can wait for this person to take action, but it might take a lot longer. We're going to look at that in the extended and see what's next, or the next significant shift / next significant meeting, because it seems like you guys might meet each other a lot and things stay the same. So we'll look at the next significant change and what will cause that, so we can kind of get a better idea of, will this person take action? Should you take action? But I feel like you just really need to trust yourself and be at peace with what you feel, and trust that if your feelings are guiding you to do a certain thing, if you're being led to take a certain risk or take action, that it'll be worth it, and that it will lead to, you may not know what it'll lead to. We're going to kind of look at that, but at the very least, it's worth it to have that courage and stand up for what your heart is telling you, and trust that a lot of times the worst thing is not, a lot of times the fears are worse than what the reality of facing them is. And I feel like you can trust no matter what. Like, you guys are solid people. You're both wonderful. Everything will be okay. Take each other off these pedestals and remember that you guys are human, and just doing your best. And there's no reason to be so hard on yourself or create unnecessary complications. So pile 3, that is where I'm going to leave this reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background. I'm not a monster. I don't expect you to watch them, but that is a simple and easy way to support me and show appreciation for my channel. But if you'd like to do that in other ways, checking out the extended is one of the most helpful ways. Everything in terms of what's next and what we're exploring is listed there and in the intro. You can like the video, that's super helpful. You can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. Shout out to my notification squad, I love you guys. Also shout out to my intro squad. If you want, you can also check out my candles. Be sure to use code ASO10 on any candles on Angelic Magic 88's site, so you get that discount. You can also check out my merch, my social media, other videos. I think that's it. My fat juicy ass. I was trying to hold back and not say it. Obviously you can. It's just a funny joke that well, it's not that funny, but it's just something I say sometimes that I can't help myself. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for watching and for letting me read for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye. Hi there, pile 1. Well, pile 1, you're pile 4. Hi there, pile 4. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Oriens Animal Tarot and the purple Chalcedony palm stone, this is going to be a reading on how the person you're asking about is currently feeling about you. So to make sure that this is your reading, we are going to start by looking at who is this person that you're asking about, and also what is the energy of the connection / relationship that you're both experiencing. If you get yourself, try a different group before you sit through this entire reading, please. And obviously if it does not resonate, try a different group. And if you need a full breakdown of the reading, there's one in the intro. So let's go ahead now and see who the person coming through is. So to start, we have Virgo. We have Dolphin. We have the World. And we have Mars in Aries with impulsiveness. And then the current state / nature of your connection / relationship. We have detachment. You are releasing old patterns and ideas that no longer serve your highest ideals of love. We have bliss. We have not for you in reverse. And we have midnight. Okay. So let's start with who this person is. And let me remind you, if it sounds like yourself, please pick a different group before you sit through all of this. Unless you can acknowledge that the person you're asking about shares the same qualities I'm describing. So this is definitely someone that has a very healing presence in your life. This is someone who, a little bit chaotic, but very earnest, genuine, and super kind-hearted. I feel like one aspect of them that is really noticeable is that they have like a really beautiful smile, or their smile lights you up. Or maybe when you think about them, you smile. I can see that this person is someone who a lot of people love. They might have like some sort of fame or just a reputation of some kind, with the World card being here. Or they could live at a distance or be from a different culture, different ethnic background from you. They could also be at a distance from you, at different places in the world, or you could have recently reached the end of a cycle with them that has led you to these energies, but also led you to deeper appreciation and love and acceptance for this person. I feel like this person brings you a lot of fulfillment and also brings you a lot of excitement / peace. I can see that this person is not only a natural leader, but someone who is quite courageous in general, even if they don't always feel that way themselves. They are intensely self-critical, and I would be willing to bet that they conceal a lot of their anxieties or a lot of their insecurities quite well, to the point where people may have no idea that they have them. It might even be something where you were shocked to discover, maybe just how hard this person is on themselves. Imposter syndrome could be something that they've revealed to you. I feel like you see the more meticulous, obsessive, analytical, critical sides of them, but that's usually directed entirely towards themselves and whatever they do in the world. It's definitely not directed outwards at people. I feel like they might even be extra generous as a way to compensate for their perceived inadequacies. The fact that we have the dolphin here, though, I can see that this is someone who is really fun, very playful, and lively. Like, I heard Nigiaka in my head, which is Japanese for lively. And so maybe Japan is significant in some way, but they're definitely someone who, they might have a beautiful laugh, or like a loud laugh as well. I was hearing, like, how dolphins have make those cute noises. I feel like you could really like their laugh or their voice. And they're also someone who I feel like isn't afraid to speak their mind and be honest, especially when it comes to standing up for others, or when it comes to eliminating self-doubt and bullshit in others. So, like, for example, because they deal with these intense feelings of inadequacy and imposter syndrome, if they saw that in you, they would be the first to not only call it out, but do whatever they could to eliminate that from your psyche. I can see here as well that they are someone who has a lot going for them, and there is a lot to them. Like, they have so many different aspects of their personality, and they are many different things at once, in the sense that, like, they can be both confident and courageous, and underneath that is this insecurity and inadequacy. But at the same time, I think they go through cycles of realizing their worth, healing more. This is definitely someone who I wouldn't be shocked if you've known for a great period of time with the world. And even if you haven't, it's probably quite obvious to you that this person has gone through a series of transformations that have made them unrecognizable to people of their past, or even the past versions of themselves wouldn't recognize them. This is someone who has a natural intelligence, and also someone who's very good at picking up on the subconscious thoughts and feelings of others. I feel like this is someone that everybody loves. Like, if they walk into a room, they will leave having, like, every single person be like, wow, like, pile 4's person was so funny, or so cool to talk to. I feel like there's someone who, without even trying, just has an air of acceptance that makes people feel more comfortable to be themselves. And I feel like this person that you're asking about is someone who's not afraid to be goofy, not afraid to put their true selves out there. The only thing that I think they don't show is what they perceive as their flaws and their insecurities. I think that this person appreciates their uniqueness in a way where it allows others to not only admire the fact that your person is so open with who they truly are, rather than, hiding behind a mask or something like that, but it's also like they inspire others to be more of themselves as well. There's a nakedness to this person, which, I mean, maybe literally, maybe they dress provocatively, or maybe they, not that there's anything wrong with that, or maybe they look nice naked, and that's something that's confirmation for you. I don't know. I can tell that they make you nervous, and I can also tell that this person seems kind of unpredictable to you in a way where you may wonder what their game is, and it may have taken you quite a while to realize they have no game, at least not consciously. They're very much a say what they mean what they say. I think I said this earlier, but there's an earnestness to their nature, which is quite endearing. And I feel like part of their power is in just the healing nature of the truth that comes into their words. Like, I feel like this is the type of person, you know, at a party is gonna find the person that's like upset or feeling insecure and listen to them and make them feel better. I feel like this is the type of person that just when they're around you, they make life more exciting. They make life feel more colorful. Like, there's a richness to your life when they are around you. And I feel like they have this playful, jovial nature to them that easily masks any struggles that they might be going through, and also gives you a lot of necessary nourishment in terms of amusement, joy, fun. I definitely think that they're a natural leader, even if they wouldn't classify themselves as such. And I think that the high standards that they have for themselves have reaped success in their life in whatever ways they determine success to be. But I feel like there is this kind of pit in this person where their analytical nature and obsessiveness can make things feel like they're not enough, it's not enough. But I feel like they don't let that get them down. They definitely have inconsistent levels of energy. I feel like when they're really passionate and really excited about something, they can move mountains. But when they don't care about something, or when they're not inspired or motivated by it, they can't even lift a finger. There is definitely a competitive nature to this person. Maybe you feel like they compete with you, or that they want to impress you. They also definitely have a headstrong nature and can be quite stubborn at times. They could enjoy riding horses, or could enjoy like some sort of extreme activity, like an extreme sport, or a dangerous activity, like maybe they enjoy bungee jumping or something like that. There's a lot of qualities to this person that make them very multidimensional, where it's like, okay, yeah, they can be shy, but they're not going to let that stop them from talking to people. Okay, yeah, they can be insecure, but it's not going to stop them from taking that risk. I feel like this person surprises you a lot, and I feel like you probably feel this bewilderment that they even look in your direction, that they see the value in you. And you may feel like, you know, if you feel like I'm talking about you, I would be willing to bet you guys share a lot of those qualities. I feel like there is an expansiveness to the connection between the two of you that has allowed this person to see a lot about themselves and you as well. Depending on how long you've known them, I feel like you could have gone through many phases with this person, or a lot of time has passed and you've reached a new point of being, which actually makes a lot of sense when we look at the nature of this connection. But in terms of signs, really quickly, in case you need that extra confirmation, we have water signs here: Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We have Virgo, obviously, so Virgo placements. We have Mars and Aries, so they could have a Mars and Aries, or Aries placements. Mars is ruled by Aries, but you could technically add Scorpio in there if you wanted to. And we have the fixed signs with the world, so that would be Taurus, Scorpio again, Aquarius, and Leo. So they don't have to have those placements, but if that resonates, I would say the strongest ones for sure are these water signs. If they have any Aries, I think that's probably pretty predominant, because Mars is at home in Aries, so, or is Aries at home in Mars? I don't know, one of those two. I'm not an astrologer. I'm just a pair of talking hands on the internet. So yeah, that could be significant. I also think as well, this person is not very calculated. They just kind of, even if they try to be, they can get lost in their own energetic sauce. And they could be the type of person too to start and stop projects, or not have the best follow through, especially if something else catches their mind. Like, it kind of reminds me, they have Leonardo da Vinci vibes. Like, a lot of things that they follow through to completion can be really incredible and quite brilliant, but there's a lot of things that never see the light of day because they either get bored, feel like they're not good enough, whatever it may be. And I feel like how that applies to you is they could have made plans or insisted on doing things and then fallen back on that, and then maybe gotten insecure, maybe been unsure. I definitely feel like this person puts their best foot forward with you, and they don't like to show you any of their perceived weaknesses. I feel like they try to appear extra strong, extra happy. And it's not an appearance. I think they are genuinely happy when they're around you, but it's like they don't want you to see any of the insecurities that they have within themselves. They don't want you to see the flaws that they see. So let's talk about the current state of your connection and the energy of it. So I feel like you both have reached a point of newness where anything can happen here, especially because we have midnight and we had the world over here. I felt like the world specifically in this group may be speaking to a greater cycle of completion between the two of you, where you've grown a lot individually, and that's leading to new understanding between the two of you. The fact that we have the bliss card here, I feel like this is a spiritual connection where like you don't have to be like literally spiritual with each other, but there's this greater cosmic essence that exists between the two of you. And when you are in one another's presence, it's like time dissolves. The world outside of you and them does not exist. And it feels just so good to be in one another's presence. I definitely think that both of you have really struggled with insecurities around being worthy of being in each other's presence, being worthy of receiving a connection like this. And there could be a lot of insecurities that, you know, the other is less interested. Like you could be thinking, oh, you know, this person isn't really interested in me. There are so many people that are better than me that would like them, or vice versa. You might feel like this person is perfect and it might piss you off. Like you might feel like, can you just struggle a little bit more? Or can you just, I feel like you wish you could see this person's flaws more. And that's like one of their biggest fears, because they don't want you to see them truly in their light and their shadow. And you realize like, not only are they incredibly human, but maybe they're not good enough for you. I feel like both of you are releasing that though. The fact that we have detachment with you are releasing old patterns and ideas that no longer serve your highest ideals of love. I feel like you've come to greater understanding about what's important to both of you individually. And I think you are releasing attachment to how things play out between the two of you beyond what's within your immediate control. And also detachment to how things unfold between the two of you. Detachment to outcomes, and also detachment to placing your worth and how the other responds to you. This midnight card I feel is very interesting, because obviously midnight is the beginning of a new day. And so I feel like it's not only indicating that there's this new cycle, and it's one that's stable. The fact that we have 44 here, actually let me get my numbers book. I love using this numbers book. See what 44 says. There's this stability in this connection where like maybe you and this person have gone through highs and lows, but ultimately it's only led you to greater understanding of yourselves and greater surrender and release to what the universe has in store for the both of you individually and together, and a willingness to accept how good it feels to be in one another's presence. Like I feel like there's a peacefulness when you're with each other, and any uncertainty or insecurities, they seem to be fleeting, because the peaceful feelings that exist between the two of you are just far too powerful. I feel like the insecurities begin once you leave one another's presence, because it's like, oh man, did I say something stupid? Or oh man, like I feel like once that's gone, like once you're out of each other's presence, that's when the insecurities start. But also with this midnight card, I was thinking about Cinderella and how when the clock strikes midnight, you know, the carriage turns back into a pumpkin, her dress, you know, the magic spell that the fairy godmother placed on her is gone. And I feel like in some way, this spell that was keeping you both stuck in feelings of not being good enough, stuck in feelings like you had to appear a certain way, or stuck with having perceptions or beliefs about one another and about this connection that kept you both from connecting more deeply, that kept you both from seeing reality as it is and accepting the nature of what was right in front of you, which I feel like there is a deeper acceptance of one another in a way where you're learning to take each other off the pedestals you may have placed each other on and see your own worth enough to be comfortable to receive the good feelings that exist between the two of you, to receive just, you know, the peace that comes from being with one another. You know, obviously, I think one of the attachments that was really overwhelming for the both of you is the fear of losing that feeling. It was so good. I don't want to lose it, but I also don't want to get addicted to it. I don't want to be attached to it in a way that makes me weak. I think both of you are afraid of anything that makes you vulnerable or anything that makes you weak. And I think one thing that you guys are realizing is that you're not weak, and it takes a lot of strength, in fact, to accept circumstances as they are, accept things as they are, and not feel like you have to hold on so tightly. I feel like there's an awareness that neither of you have to force this situation, neither of you have to hold on to this situation, because it's flowing perfectly. And in fact, the more you find comfort within yourselves and see your value, the easier it is for you to connect to each other. I feel like you guys are the Spider-Man meme where like both of the Spider-Mans are pointing at each other. And it may be that when you're together, it's hard to see where it, like energetically speaking, it may feel like it's hard to tell where your energy ends and theirs begins. But I feel like with this 44 here, you know, both of you are gaining control of yourselves in ways where you're not holding on to what you can control and you're staying focused on what you can. You're also recognizing how your insecurities have been keeping both of you from taking more risks in this connection and being willing to be more vulnerable with each other. I definitely think there's an awareness that you don't have to perform for one another. You don't have to put on a show in front of each other. In fact, I think once you're able to see more of each other and in that vulnerable place, in that place where you're not trying to show off or put your best foot forward, you will realize like, oh, we never needed to do that in the first place. I also think with the Midnight card, I'm thinking of the number 12, and 12 is the Hanged Man in tarot, and so I do feel like there is this level of surrender between the two of you where you're no longer hyper focusing on certain details or obsessing over things you can't control, and rather looking at things from a different perspective, one where what if nothing has ever been wrong here, and what if everything is going to be okay no matter what happens? Like, I feel like there's a deep acceptance for whatever has transpired between the two of you, and a feeling of compassion and love for what the two of you have brought to each other's lives, and excitement, but a feeling of not wanting to attach to the excitement of what the future might bring. We'll look at that later in the extendee. But 44, let's see what 44 says, because I wanted to look at it. I'm definitely excited to see how this person feels, because they're capable of feeling a lot, and I just like when there's a lot of richness to analyze. I love to chew on that juicy nuance. Okay. I open my heart to the powerful divine support from loving angels that helps me in all aspects of my spiritual and physical life. So that's really beautiful. And I do feel like there is a lot of spiritual support in this connection. Like, I feel like there's awareness that not everything is within your control or their control here. And it may have seemed like that in the past, but I feel like this connection has led to a much deeper spiritual understanding between of yourselves and of the world. And I feel like that's leading to more understanding between the two of you. And I feel like this connection has expanded your understanding of how you perceive the universe, your role in it, what you both are capable of. This is very like powerful energy where this makes me think of, I saw this picture that was like, I want, it was talking about like romantic love versus Studio Ghibli. I feel like I say it wrong, Studio Ghibli, I don't know. Studio Ghibli love, where it's like it's not what if we kissed, it's like what if we spiritually matured with one another. But I mean, not that you can't do both. I mean, you can do both, but I feel like there is like some of the romantic aspects of this connection are rooted in deep personal and spiritual transformation that leads to greater understanding of yourselves, greater appreciation of one another, and unconditional acceptance and unconditional love of self that extends to the same for the other. And yeah, honestly, it's really, really fucking beautiful. So love that for you guys. Okay, let's go ahead now and see how this person is feeling about you. But with that being said, if you enjoy this reading and you would like to, we're going to be looking at the next significant shift / what the next significant meeting between you and this person in the extended. So if you want to check that out when this reading is over, that'll be linked down below. But if not, I'm just grateful you're here. And if you would like to support me in other ways, just liking the video, letting the comments play. I mean, yeah, you can leave a comment, let the ads play in the background. I don't expect you to watch them. I'm not a monster, but just letting them play is really helpful. So thank you to everyone who does that. But I'm just grateful you're here and grateful you're letting me read for you. And I am excited to see what comes through here. Okay, so oh yeah, and you're pile 4. And I don't know why it took me that long to notice that. Oh, but I guess I should also mention this is the only card that had a astrological sign that came out, and Virgo suns are born between late August and late September. I think the cutoff is September 22nd. So this person could have a birthday within those dates, but they don't have to. Okay. So pile 4's person, spirit, how is pile 4's person currently feeling about pile 4? How is pile 4's person currently feeling about pile 4? I feel like it's taking a little bit for the cards to come out. So I feel like one thing is that maybe they've been keeping their feelings under wraps, or if when it comes to talking about their feelings, like maybe they've been avoiding that. I almost see this blue as like a speech bubble. It's like I can't tell pile 4 how I feel until I've said it perfectly or something like that. But we have the 3 of Wands. And the 3 of Wands is Sun in Aries, so that's more Aries energy. How is pile 4's person currently feeling about pile 4? How is pile 4's person? We have the 5 of Cups. How is pile 4's person currently feeling about pile 4? Okay, we have the 4 of Cups and the Star. Oh, there's multiple under here. We have the 4 of Cups, the Star, and the 3 of Pentacles, and I'll pull one more. How is pile 4's person currently feeling about pile 4? And they were like, nah, 2 more. We have 7 of Wands and Strength. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Fool. Okay, so I can definitely see that things haven't been flowing here as easily as your person would like. Starting with the 3 of Wands here, I feel like they are trusting in this situation. It seems like there are factors outside of their control or your control that are making it harder for you both to be where you want to be in this connection. But I feel like your person has optimistic feelings about the future. They also have optimistic feelings about whatever is meant to occur. There's almost this like, I don't know what to expect, but I expect it's going to continue to get better. I expect that things are going to get lighter and things are going to get easier. I feel like this person doesn't get to see you as often as they would like, or get to spend as much time with you as they would like. And I do feel like there is a lot of sadness around this. I also feel like if they've messed up in the past in any way, there could be a level of just sorrow that they weren't able to prevent that. I also feel like with the 5 of Cups here, they may just be disappointed at how this connection has turned out so far, in the sense that maybe they have expected things to happen sooner, or hoped that they would happen sooner, or hoped that they would be in, that you and them would be in a different place than you are right now. But it could also just be that there have been a lot of disappointments in this connection, and they're trying to not let those get them down. I feel like this person does have a tendency to place a lot of hope in outcomes, and so I feel like that's one reason why detachment of outcomes is very important to them. But I also feel like they may feel sad over how things have occurred in the past between the two of you, and they may feel sad about the things that they left unsaid. Oh, I'm hearing Cardinal by Casey Musgraves. There's a specific line that she talks about where she says words unsaid. And I feel like this person is maybe disappointed that they haven't channeled that courage into being more honest about what they want for this connection, or what they desire. But I feel like at the same time, they feel powerless to do anything differently. It could be that maybe there are circumstances in your life that are preventing the two of you from being closer, spending more time together. Or it just could be that both of you are very afraid to be honest with the other about what's truly going on. And what's truly going on, it'll be different for all of you. And maybe the truth is neither of you really know what's going on at all. And maybe, both of you blame external factors for why you're both not in the positions you want to be with each other, when in reality it's your own insecurities that are keeping you there. I was actually reflecting about this the other night, and just thinking about how, we can have the world and be unwilling to receive it because we feel like we don't deserve it. And how we can even, be afraid of accepting a good thing because we feel like we don't deserve it, or we'll sabotage it, or it'll be proven to us that we could never receive it or never have it. And it just, made me thought of the flip side of that, where, those who don't have it, that yearn for the world. I forgot the world was right there. So maybe your person resonates with that. But on the flip side, those who, yearn for the world, yearn for their dreams to manifest and materialize, they may subconsciously hold themselves back because they believe that they can't do it, or they see it as something, in the distance of their future, and as something that, they keep safe in their dream world because they're afraid of what the reality might be. And I feel like, when we do things that are bold, or that are, when we pursue the dreams of our heart, we have to face the inevitability of our own insecurities, our own flaws, our shortcomings. And we have to face realities that maybe something that we blamed on, oh, well, I'm unhappy because I don't have this thing yet. You get the thing and you're still not happy. And it's like, oh, well, maybe that wasn't the problem in the first place. I feel like this person maybe has realized that they've projected onto you certain things that, for example, projected ideas that they couldn't have what they want, or they couldn't be happy until you and them were in a position that they wanted to be. Or maybe just realize that they've lost time and energy worrying about what they couldn't control, and allowing what they couldn't control to get in their way and to keep them stuck in cycles of being. And they may just be feeling disappointed that they didn't see that. And they may be feeling disappointed that they have unfairly projected onto you this idea that you showing up in a certain way is the only way things can happen, or is the thing holding them back from greater pastures, greater success, grander ambitions, however they view them. I feel like they're realizing that they may have placed a lot of their self-worth in your approval, or in you showing up in a particular way, and they're realizing that that was really unfair to you because that wouldn't allow you to just be your authentic self. And that could create some division between the two of you where you may not consciously, maybe neither of you would consciously understand why, but there's almost like this invisible wall that would keep you from connecting. And I feel like they're realizing that they may have blamed you for that wall, and they're realizing, no, this is a wall we built together. This is a wall that we've maintained. This is a wall that we've maintained with love and care, so that we didn't have to permeate the walls within us that were trying to reveal the true causes of our suffering, the true causes of our shortcomings, the true causes of what is truly holding us back in life and from each other. Damn, that's deep. Okay, I was feeling that. That was, I knew this person, like, whoa, they got some self-reflective juice going on, and that was quite yummy. It was quite yummy to channel. Anyway, let's keep going. I definitely feel like no matter what, there are feelings of disappointment here. And with these three cards coming out, the Four of Cups, the Three of Pentacles, and the Star, I feel like ultimately your person has hope, and they want to build more solid foundations between the two of you. I feel like they want to be more of a presence in your life in helpful, practical ways, but they may also feel like they have things to work on, you have things to work on. Maybe both of you are preoccupied by work in some sort of way, and maybe they feel like they don't want to intrude or get in the way of that. But I feel like with the Four of Cups being here, there's definitely an energy of discontent towards the current state of your connection, whatever it may be at. There may be some boredom and being like, okay, when's the next thing gonna happen? Like when are things gonna get moving again? And they may be feeling like things are just kind of dragging on a little bit. But I think that leads them back to that detachment and that understanding of like, there are certain things I can't control. There are certain things that you, pile four, my person, can't control. That's what they would be thinking. They probably wouldn't say my person, though. They would probably say whatever your name is. But I definitely think that they're also realizing how they've allowed this discontent to creep into other areas of their life, and they've kind of stayed in their shell a little bit. I feel like they've also been very afraid of the future. And so I feel like they've also kind of ignored or neglected to see maybe what they could do, ways that they could connect with you presently, because they were worried it would somehow screw something up or that they would push you away. I definitely think that there is a desire to prove themselves and a desire to not intrude on what isn't their business to discuss with you, or what isn't their role to help you with. I feel like one thing about this person is that they have a tendency to neglect themselves in pursuit of helping others, and I bet you would also, I wouldn't be shocked if you mirror that. And I think that they may be realizing just how they want to take more accountability for their actions and also be more consciously present with what they can't control and what they can control. I feel like they're also just aware of the fact that any time spent apart will be worth it, because when you do come together, it will be healing, and it will be more, even more special, because they're fully present in the moment with you rather than thinking about the future and what's next. Like the example I'm thinking of is, when you're reading a really good book and you're so focused on what happens next, you miss parts of the current chapter you're reading. I feel like that is something that they're realizing, and so they do cherish the time that they spend with you. And I feel like time not spent with you is always subpar to when they are spending time with you. And I feel like that bliss kind of stands where, it feels so good to be with you that nothing else feels worth it at times. And I think that they've kind of realized, like, I can't go chasing that high of being with my person and neglect my other responsibilities. I think they're learning to shift their perspective on what's actually their responsibility, but they nonetheless remain hopeful and optimistic about the future, and optimistic about what the future holds for the two of you, even if they have no clue what that is. They just know that everything is going to be okay, and that things are getting better, and that they feel like they've changed, and they feel like you've changed also, and that there is just this newness to the both of you, and newness to the energy between the two of you, where it just feels like there's less pressure and less stress. And it's not because you guys are putting less pressure and stress on each other, but rather you're putting less pressure and stress on yourselves. And I feel like they're consciously aware of that, and kind of realizing how their energy that they weren't aware of may have been impacting their ability to connect with you and your ability to receive them and feel comfortable in one another's presence. But with the Seven of Wands and Strength, I feel like this person feels this, what's the right word? Passionate purpose in not giving up on this situation. I feel like they've wanted to give up in the past, or they felt like at the same time they've wanted you and not wanted you, in the sense that it's like it's less painful to go without. I'm thinking of the quote, like, it's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. And I feel like this person has gone back and forth with whether they believe in that, because I feel like the power that exists when you're with each other, that just how good it feels. They may have felt like too afraid to genuinely pursue that, or shirk off, or say no to what isn't for them, because there may be some aspect of this connection that feels like a risk to them. And I feel like they're realizing that they would rather risk it for the biscuit than play life in a safe way. I mean, they're the type to do that. They are the type to take risks. And I feel like this person isn't giving up on you, isn't giving up on your connection, and certainly plans on continuing to move forward and fight for what they believe in, and fight for what they truly want. And I feel like what they're realizing is that a lot of their fight doesn't need to go towards you or towards proving themselves to you, but it needs to go into fighting the insecurities and the fears that they've had around their deservability, around you caring for them, around you proving that you feel the same way. They don't really care that they feel that if you feel the same way anymore. I feel like they just know that you're a valuable presence in their life. The strength of the energy between the two of you is very strong. And I feel like they know that even if you don't share the exact same feelings, you still feel some type of way about them too. They know that they're not the only ones that experiences the magic that this connection has to offer. And I feel like with this Strength card being here especially, there is just a willingness for them to focus on what they need to fight in their own individual life. Because I do feel like they've used this connection as an excuse to kind of escape things that they've known they've needed to do. And so, and individual things they've known they've needed to work on. And they're realizing like that this bond can't really be broken, and that they don't need to be so stressed about silly things or about their ego being appeased. I feel like they're fighting their ego a lot, where and seeing how their ego gets attached to how you show up and what you say and vice and it's just stuff like that. And I think that they're realizing just how, you know, their ego prevents them from being more vulnerable, from being more honest, from being more surrendered in a way where they allow things to flow and allow authenticity to come through. I feel like they have to work very hard to be vulnerable and authentic around you. Not that they aren't a fake version of themselves, it's just that I feel like you both tiptoe around certain truths, like the depth of what you feel for one another or the magic that exists between the two of you. I feel like they're not the only one that does this. If I can lovingly call you out, Pile 4, I feel you do the same. And I feel like both of you have quite powerful egos, or at the very least, and that it's not a bad thing, you know? A big ego is protecting a big heart. And that's the power of the heart, to overpower ego. And I feel like they want to fight what causes, because all the ego is doing is trying to protect you in its own fearful ways and its limited viewpoints. And so I feel like they are willing to fight off the fears, fight off the things that hold them back, and surrender to what they can't control in order to be open to whatever you're meant to receive, and whatever is the genuine flow of the connection. I feel like they're surrendering to that and surrendering to their own excellence, and realizing like they don't have to prove anything to you. They don't have to show up in a certain way, that everything is not only going to be fine, but it's going to be, I feel like they have this feeling that things will be better than they could ever imagine them or picture them with you. And they've needed to let go of images or ideas of how things should be to allow what is to come through. It's almost like water will take the shape of any container. And I feel like what they're realizing is that this connection doesn't need a container. Just let this connection be the ocean. And like a dolphin, they're ready to swim in it playfully and receive whatever is there and whatever is. It's so beautiful. Okay, let's go ahead and see what they would say to you if they could be completely honest using channeled messages. So, Spirit, what would Pile 4's person say to Pile 4 if they could be completely honest? Reach for what you want the most. Yeah, I feel like what they want the most is you in their life and making room for you, and also their goals, because I feel like they have neglected their goals out of sadness that things aren't where they want them to be, or out of insecurity. I feel like they are listening to their heart and listening to their intuition more, and their intuition says, like, even if they don't know how everything is going to work out, they know that it will. Okay, what else would they say to you, Pile 4, please? Sorry, my vocal fry is getting a little bad. I need to get water, but I'm not gonna get up yet. So you'll just have to deal with it. I feel the connection too, yeah. And, you know, I love that this card features the red string of fate. I do feel like there is this fated element to this connection where this person has realized like they need to let go in order to receive. Because it's almost like this connection thrives in true freedom and in exploration and expansion. And that can't happen if you're tugging on one another and holding one another back. What else would they say to Pile 4, please? Your support in harsh times. Yeah, I feel like one of the things that maybe they're not so honest with you about is just how therapeutic your presence is in their lives and how appreciated it is. I feel like I want to cry. I feel like this person has this era of feeling like you have more important people to care for. You, like they feel like they are someone who they don't want to be a nuisance or a needy presence in your life. I guess in their own life too. But and as a result, I feel like they're not really honest with you about how valuable your presence is to them, how nourishing it is, how supportive it is. Oh, and I love that you guys are like in the ocean. And I feel like one thing they want you to know is like even just hearing from you or just knowing that you care or knowing that you believe in them is enough to like get their motivation going again. And I feel like this person has really in hard times, like maybe they've kind of looked to you to save them from themselves. And I think they're realizing like they don't need you to do that and that they can save themselves. And they just really value all that you've done to be there for them. And they're very afraid of making you feel obligated to be there for them and feel like you have to be their hero or martyr yourself for them. And so I feel like they haven't been fully honest about just, you know, how powerful and healing your presence has been in their life. But I feel like they do want to say that any support that you've given them has been really valuable and been very instrumental in them moving through hardships in their life. Okay, one more. What would this person, Pile Force person, say to Pile Force, please? Please. Oh, naturally, we get two more. So we have daydreaming about you on the daily, and I see you in every little thing. Yeah, I feel like it makes it kind of hard to focus, and they're learning to regain that focus. But it doesn't matter whether you're together or apart. Like they see you and they feel you, and they envision a lot. And so I feel like they're trying to find a healthy balance between allowing like just the good feelings that the connection itself brings, but also not get attached to like the daydreams they have and the fantasies. It's like they're trying to keep themselves grounded in reality whilst also being open to unlimited possibilities. And, you know, depending on how often you're able to see each other, I think that when there are times of not being able to see one another, not being able to connect, they feed their heart with memories of your times together and with daydreams of what could happen in the future. This is so beautiful. I feel like I'm blushing from all of this. Like, I can tell this person probably wouldn't say it to you, but if they haven't, I think they really love you, and they realize like love is more important than being sure of how things are meant to unfold. Like the love is all that really matters here. And this is the type of person who would rather you be happy than force you to show up in a certain way in order to appease them. So, Spirit, what guidance do you have for Pile 4? That's you. What guidance do you have, Spirit, for Pile 4 when it comes to this connection and life in general, please? We have fire. Okay, transformation, rebirth, renewal. So I would be willing to bet that both of you have been through divine fires of some kind with one another. And I feel like whatever is being burned away in your lives is making room for more authentic presence and more space between the two of you. It's also, there's this song, I don't know if the artist's name is Dasha or Desha, but the song's called King of California. And that song kind of reminds me of this reading. And like there's a line where she says like, feel the light that I turned off come on again. And I feel like for you guys, it's not a light that turns off and on. I think it's just a fire that gets stronger and weaker based on how much it's fed. Like, you know, when you have a campfire, you have to put wood in it. That's what she said. I hate myself. Why am I like that? Okay. I'm immature. That's okay. It's my right to be immature. You know, you have to feed that, and I think sometimes both of you deliberately don't. And I think one thing that this card is saying is that it's okay to feed that fire and allow it to burn away what doesn't serve. I also think that both of you have been going through intense transformative processes that are leading to renewal between the two of you and rebirth on individual levels. I feel like no matter when you met one another, you are not the same you're not the same people that you were when you met one another. And even if this is newer, I feel like you've grown a lot just even in that time. Okay. What other guidance do you have for Pile 4, Spirit? We have trust. Yeah, trust in the power of the universe and happy endings, end of a chapter. Speaking of, that's what she said. Oh, look, and on the back of the deck, we have a new beginning. Have courage to open a new door. So yeah, I think everything's gonna be okay here, pile 4. I'm actually really excited to see what's next. So if you want to check out the extended, feel free. But if not, like I said, just grateful you're here and grateful you will let me plug myself. I know some people are bothered by that, but I'm getting over that because like I work hard and I'm proud of the work that I do, and I'm going to hype myself, whether you like it or not. But I definitely think that Spirit is really asking you to let go of your fears and let go of the past. You are not the person you were, and the person you're becoming is the person you've not only always meant to be, but you'll feel more like yourself than you've ever have. And I feel like you're just stepping into really powerful changes that are leading to powerful new growth, and there's just a need to really trust and see how things flow. So wow, okay, pile 4, that is where I'm going to leave this reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting the ads play in the background, unless you have YouTube Premium, which in that case, like, you're like, what ads? And I'm like, touche. If you would like to support me or show appreciation for this reading, you can do so by liking, commenting, subscribing. If you want me to see your comments, I see comments when I first upload, and after that we leave it up to fate. You can also check out my candles. Be sure to use code ASO10 for 10% off. You can check out my social media, which is basically just Instagram. You can check out my merch. You can check out other videos. The extended's the most effective way to support me, especially because they're just so much fun, and I love having you guys there and being able to be more vulgar and chaotic. So, you know, if you had to choose, I would say come meet me in after hours. But that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for letting me channel this beautiful reading. It was quite beautiful and very raw. So I hope, oh my God, okay, I'm done. I'm not gonna say that anymore. Okay. I'm gonna go before I say any windows that are inappropriate. So thank you guys so much for watching and for letting me read for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye.